I'd like to welcome all of you to today's program. My name is Pastor Kujo. You can call me Francis. It's a blessing to have you all gathered here today. And it's my prayer that God will use me as a vessel that whatever comes through my mouth today will have an impact on each and everyone's life. And anybody that stands here to say a word to you today will have an impact on your life. Amen. Usually, when we go for programs like this, the main focus is to be impacted. However, the impact to determine is based on the individual. It's good to be here, but the question is, are you ready to have an impact? Are you ready to prepare your mind to take something home? It's not a matter of who you are looking at or who is sitting next to you. It's a question of what you want out of this program. That's why you came here today. So as we began the program, I just hope you just tune everything outside and focus here. So that whatever comes out of here today, you don't leave here the same. Something might have brought you here today. And the good God that we serve, before you leave here, you will get a solution to what you are looking for. We all have books in our hand. Before we start, if possible, if you can write 5 things that you wish could happen to your life, just 5 things that you wish could happen to your life. So you came for this program. What are the 5 things that at the end of this program, or let's say at the end of this year, if someone was going around granting wishes, you wish would happen to your life? Just 5. And this will tell you how difficult it is for some people to just list 5 things they want for their lives. And that's one of the reasons why we are here. If it will take you more than 2 minutes to list 5 things you want for your life, then the question then becomes, what actually do you want from life? Just 5 things, write it down in any order. Don't look at your circumstance or your environment or your background. Just write it. Don't say maybe I'm staying in a single room, so let me write what is my level. Forget about your environment, forget about the circumstance, and just write what the 5 things you wish could happen to your life. Some years back, I went for a seminar, and I was in uni. Then, when I came home, one thing I picked up from the seminar was the things you want for your life, until you write it down, you will not see it happening to you. Because there are times that you see some of them happening, but you don't even know that it's part of the vision you have for your life. And in writing the things you want for your life down, what happens is, if you see them manifesting one at a time, it gives you the courage to know that you are on the right path. So when I came home that day, all I wanted to travel. So the first question I asked myself was, okay, how can one travel? And I realized you need a passport. Okay, how can one get a passport? You need a birth cert. So when I did the inquiries, I wrote it down. Okay, I need a birth cert, I need a passport, I need to travel. Those are only 3 things I wrote down. So along the line, I made an effort to get a birth cert, and it happened. In the process, my sister was going to do her passport. I was like, oh, I also need one. Why would you add me to it? He said, okay, let's go. We went, and it happened. All these years, it never came to mind to get a passport because I've never written it down. It wasn't a priority. But until I sat down to indicate that these were the things I want, within a period of 3 months, I had a birth cert, I had a passport. And within a period of 6 months to 1 year, I had my first travel experience. So after that incident, I realized that all these years, I never thought it was possible. I never thought I could travel. Because where am I going to? Where am I going to? What am I going to do? But until I put it on paper, and the first step happened, and the first time I got my best step, I was so happy. It felt like an achievement because I've now had one that I've seen physical. I said the one that at birth our parents did for us. Then the passport came. I was so happy. Passport without any visa. But what it felt like an achievement, hey, today need to have passport. I felt fulfilled. So when I went to travel, all I did was I was just crying. And one went out. And I happened to travel. So these three things gave me the courage to know that whatever life you want for yourself, whatever you want from life, it is possible. So long as you know exactly what you want and you know how to go about it, it is possible. The challenge most of the times we face is, one, we don't know exactly what we want from life. Two, because we don't know what we want from life, we don't know how to go for it. Majority of Ghanaians today are complaining that Ghana is hard, life is hard. In fact, many people you meet, even the rich will tell you that things don't go well. So you begin to wonder, who at all is enjoying? There's a man I really look up to. So one day he was complaining, I was like, me that I'm looking up to you. If you are complaining, what should I do? And he was like, me, I'm talking about my life. I'm saying, no, I look up to you because I know you're a boss. So if you are saying you don't have, what should I do? It's like your son coming to you, Daddy, I need this, and you say, for the past 3 days, I'm not eating. Then what is happening is that if your son is smart, it's like, if Daddy is saying for the past 3 days, he has not eaten, then the possibility that in some few days to come, he will also not eat is very high. Everyone is complaining of the difficulty in Ghana. The word all over, everyone is saying life is hard. Anybody you meet will tell you things are not going well. You are in tough times, times are not good. But the question I ask is, has there ever been a time that life was so good or things were so easy in Ghana? If I look at my life growing up, I don't remember any point in time where money was falling from the sky or government was dashing out money to our parents. It has always been the same story. Life is hard. Life is hard. Times are hard. Times are hard. There's never been a period whereby it has been easy. Even Kwame Nkrumah that helped us gain independence, it was overthrown because life was hard. So if from the days of Kwame Nkrumah life was hard, and today life is still hard, Ghana is still hard, people are complaining. The reality is Ghana really hard? Is life that really hard? Because if that is the situation, how come all these years is constant? It's like Christmas in Ghana. Every December, when you are watching the news, I don't know if you've noticed it, but one thing, I think between 24th or 23rd to 27th, thereabout, the TV stations go to the market and go and interview market women and people and ask them, now bro, they say this Christmas, how is it like? One trend I've noticed is, last year was way better. Last year by this time, people were buying things. I had made so much profit. This year is not good at all. You will hear terrible things. But after a period of time, I realized, last year, you said it was terrible. It's not good at all. If you go back in time, What you notice is they said 2019 was worse. Nobody is buying anything. Things are bad. Times are hard. I come to market for morning. 2018 by this time, people were buying things. 2020, they go back to interview. 2019 by this time, I was making money. People were buying things. So the question then becomes, you said 2018 was way better. 2019 was worse. But in 2020, you are praising 2019. See, if you have the same mindset that you have each year, what happens is this: you've wasted the years. So if in 2018 and we're in 2022, you have the same mindset as in 2018, what happens is, though the world is in 2022, you are still in 2018. So you've wasted that era. I've heard this said before, that he who views life at 40, same way he did at 20, has just wasted 20 good years of their life. So if at age 40, or at this current age, how you used to view life 5-10 years ago is the same way you view life today. What is happening is that gap, you've wasted it. Because you are not supposed to view life the same way. Because life is changing. The cars we had in 2012 are not the same cars we have in 2022. So that should tell you that it is not possible for life to be the same. Life is changing constantly. So I can boldly tell you that life is not hard. What happens is life is changing. And those who refuse to change with the times of life, they pay the price of hardship. So whenever you feel life is hard, life is not hard. The question is, are you changing? Because as for the world, or as for Earth, or as for Ghana, it's changing. Fuel is going up. Everything is changing. Nothing is constant. That is a signal to you that you also need to change with the changing seasons. But so long as you are not changing and you have the same mindset, you will feel life is hard. Let me give you a scenario. Some people are blessed. If they go for their attire 4 years ago or 7 years ago, what they used to wear, they can wear the same thing today. But for some people I know, including me, almost every 2 years, maybe we have to change. So imagine you go and take your old jeans, you try wearing it. You realize that this thing is not fitting, but you are forcing it for it to fit. If the jeans could talk, it would say, life is hard. Because you are abusing it. Because the jeans, the nature of it, the measurement, it cannot change. But you have changed. So what that means is that somebody else has to take over. Somebody else who is now at that stage. But you feel like your mind that that's the same thing you want to wear. So if the jeans could talk, what the jeans would say is, life is hard. You being at the same mentality, year in, year out, it will make you always have the impression that life is hard. Because life is always changing. Life is not constant. Whether you like it or not, things are changing in the world. But the question then becomes, are you changing? If you look at your life, let's be fair to ourselves. Ask yourself, what things have I done differently in the last 2 years or 3 years of my life? What things have I done differently? And I can show you that majority of people will tell you nothing. The same routine. No reading of books. No listening to motivational sermons or messages. No attending of seminars. Nothing. The same routine you know is the same thing you've been following for the past 3 years. But in reality, the past 3 years has changed drastically. But you have not changed. So definitely life will be hard. If you're a worker, the salary you are earning, you definitely know that even if in 5 years from now, companies should do salary increment, you can guess what the range will be. But the question is, will life be at that same pace? If we fail to change, we pay the price with hardship. So for me, I always tell people, life is not hard. Life is just changing. So how well you change to fit into the different scenarios of life will determine whether life is hard or life is not hard. 10 years, some years back, somebody had to give me before I eat. So I could sleep all I want, watch movies, do anything I want to do. I remember one day, my mom wanted to ask me a question. She was staring at me for a long time. She didn't know how to ask me the question. And finally she asked me, "Are you normal?" And I was like, "How?" Why? She said, "For some weeks now, I've noticed you are always watching Chinese, Korean movies. But I know my son cannot understand Korean or Chinese. So why would you be watching them?" I was like, "Oh, there are subtitles. It's in English, so I'm reading." But today, I cannot go back and sit down and be watching movies 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Because I have to feed myself. So that should tell that life has changed. But imagine I decide to still continue watching movie. When I wake up, I'll go to mom, give something to eat. Of course, life will be hard for me. Because my mom is aging. So things will change for her. As it change for her, the natural order of life too is that you also pick up. So if 8, 10 years ago, someone had to do it for you, automatically you should know a time will come, you have to do it for yourself. So if you fail to change, and that time catches up with you, you will definitely say life is hard. It is not life that is hard. It is you that you refuse to change. Life is just doing the natural order, moving on. If I told you to stay in class 2 or taking you back to senior high school, or let's say today the president passed a law that anybody you see in town today, catch them and take them back to SS for them to restart life. I'm sure you will curse the government because you've gone past that stage. Whatever life you are living today, the truth is this: you built it. How did you build it? You built it with your own decisions you took 2, 3, 4 years ago. So if you don't like it, build a new one. Whatever life you see today, if you don't like it, just build a new one. Because the life you are living today, instead of building it 3, 4, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, I want to believe they are all about 80 over here, or even above 20. So whatever life you are living, you built it. And you didn't build it today. You are building it from 2020, 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. So if you don't like it, the question is, 2023 is coming, 24 will come, 25 is going to come. Whether you like it or not, it will come. But the question is, how do you want it to come and meet you? So if you want it to come and meet you in a smiling way, start the decoration today. Start building it today. If you go for a wedding and you admire the decoration, they didn't just decorate it in the morning for the program to take place. There are times the decoration started 3 days ago, or even the previous night. So by the time you arrive in the morning and you see the wonderful place, it didn't just happen in the night. It was built the previous day or some days in the past. So whatever life you have today, in the next 2, 3 years, if you don't like the life you currently have, the time is now to start building it. So if you're not building anything today, 3 years will definitely come. And you'll be surprised, when you say life is hard. Life is hard though. Life is not hard. Life is just changing. And our refusal to change with the changing seas of life is what makes us feel life is hard. So if you don't like the life you have today, build a new one. Start building a new one. How do you build a new one? You build a new one by learning how things work in life. Nothing happens in life for a reason. Nothing just happens without a reason. Everything in life that happens has a reason. People that you see today that are successful, they didn't just get up and boom, they got there. There are things they know or did that got them to where they are today. So if you want to build a new life, you learn how to create one. How do you create? By first understanding how life works. You need knowledge of how things work in life. Every stage of life requires different knowledge to exist. A 50-year-old person has a knowledge to exist in life, but a 50-year-old mentality cannot fit in a 40-year-old mentality. So if your knowledge you have is the knowledge you had 8 years ago, and today things have changed drastically, and you've not learned the modern way things are going, of course life will be hard for you. If I let me use graduate complaining about Ghana is hard, there are no jobs, all I ask them is, are you trying to tell me that you know that there are no jobs in Ghana? Even now, the politicians have come out clear, they've made it clear, the youth go into entrepreneurship. Now they're no longer pretending, oh, there are jobs. No, they've made it clear, there are no jobs. So find something to do. So imagine you are in school. You know you graduate in the next 3 years. You don't know anyone will give you a good job. But you are waiting. Wisdom will tell you that start building the life you want after school from now. It's by no fault of ours that we have to do certain things we need to do. It is the system we find ourselves in. Whether you like it or not, life has never been fair. There are people you finish school with, once you finish, the next thing you hear is that in a big company working. It's all part of the process of life. For some, the path was created for them. For others, you will need to create your own path for others to come and follow. Last, I was telling a friend that the life I'm living today, I've come to the realization that I'm not living for myself. I'm living for my children. Because some bills we pay, the TV, DSTV and stuff, you don't even watch it. And you see the children relaxing and watching it. You cannot decide to say, because I'm the one paying me to today, I won't pay later, I'll sit at home and the whole day watch it with them. No, you have to be on the go. So for some, the path was created for them. All they had to do was to go through the process and get there. But for others, you need to create your own path. And in creating your own path, don't let it seem like you're disadvantaged. No. It's all part of life. If you understand these basic things about how life works, you will not complain. Because this understanding helps you to know the why you are living and why things are the way they are. There are things in Ghana now, I don't even complain again. When I go somewhere, somebody is misbehaving, what I tell the person is, do what you have to do and let's go. Save your energy. You go to hospital, somebody is misbehaving and say, see, if you can't, if there's a private place you can go, go. If you cannot, stay. Do do what you have to do and go away. The person misbehaving knows very well that even the person you are going to report him or her to won't mind you. So once you understand how things work in Ghana, you go your way. Police has stopped you. You've gone to school. You know law. You want to challenge. Some things are there. You know how things work in Ghana. It's by no fault of yours, but that is how it works. Is it fair? No. But you can't sit and complain. You have to do something about it. When we talk about success in life, one question I always ask myself is it for everyone? Can we all achieve success? Is it every human being that comes on earth that will live a successful life? Success varies. Somebody's successful life is to make money. Somebody's own is to leave a legacy behind. Somebody's own is to travel. There's this friend I have. He's working. He has a good pay. But to him, he's a failure. He said, Francis, until I leave Ghana, I have not succeeded. So with him, success in life is leaving Ghana. He doesn't want to hold a Ghanaian book. For someone also, making money is what will make him feel he has lived a successful lifestyle. Whatever success means to you, no one can take it away from you. But the question that comes to mind is that, is it possible to achieve success? And yes, every single individual can achieve success in life. But it is not something you pursue, you attract it. You cannot pursue success. You attract it. How do you attract success? By your actions. So somebody will say, okay, I have an exam in the next 2 weeks. You don't have to chase getting good grades. You know what you're supposed to do. Take your books and read. Once you take your books, study hard, definitely you attract success in the exams. So we don't pursue success. We attract it. And how do we attract it? By our actions. So success in life always starts with you and ends with you. I said it this time when the person was like, I was like, no, if I say success depends on God, the next question would be, then God, why me? Why is it that my fellow brother is doing what I'm not doing well? No. Success in life depends on you. At the end of this seminar, you understand why I say success in life depends on you. I can even say success has nothing to do with God. Whether you fail or you succeed, it has nothing to do with God. It all depends on you. Because God already wants you to be successful. If your father has taken you to school, paid school fees for you to study, make sure you have a good teachers, make sure everything is available to you, and you refuse to study, can you say your success depends on your father? No, because he has made everything you need to succeed in life available to you, but you have refused to follow the process. God wants us to succeed. Hence, it depends on us if we follow the process, we will achieve success. It all starts with you. When you take the story of the prodigal son, one thing you notice is He wasn't ready to wait. I'm sure he realized that, this my father, the way he's looking, he has so many years ahead of him. It's like some of you that are waiting for your uncle or someone to die so that you take possession of your family property. You realize that the person is growing old, but still strong. You see others dying, but like, this man is still. So I'm sure this prodigal son realized that the father, Charlie, was still going strong. And I'm sure if the father used to gym, exercise and stuff, so you realize, no. This man, if you have to die for me to inherit what is mine, I can't wait. Give it to me now. That wasn't a problem. After everything he went through, you realize that the father did not go and catch him and say, come back. Neither did anyone go and catch him and say, your father is this man here, yet suffering. Go. No. He got to a point and he said, no. It's time for me to go back to my father's house. So he took the decision that it's time for him to go back. He could have stayed there and suffer, or go back. And he said he will go back to his father's house. Success depends on you. If you want to be successful, it's possible. If you want to be a failure, it's easy. The painful aspect is that failing is easy, succeeding is easy. But we normally feel attracted to fail because succeeding involves a lot of steps, a lot of struggles you have to go through. Christ achieved success on earth. He completed his mission. And the good thing about believers is that if you believe in Christ and you believe in the gospel, when Christ said it is finished, he has completed his mission. The same way, if you also believe in him, you will complete your mission. So whatever you want to achieve, having this at the back of your mind and knowing that, okay, see, Christ on earth, he achieved his purpose. So long as my Savior achieved his purpose, that means I can also achieve my purpose. The step of achieving it, he made it known to everyone. How do we create the successful lifestyle that we want? It all starts with you. You know, when I finished uni, I always had a thought in mind. And almost everyone around me, one thing I noticed was either they know somebody or they know someone who knows someone who can connect them to getting a good job. But as for me, I didn't know anyone. So the question was, so me, what would I do? So imagine you are home and this friend will call you. Oh, by God's grace, I've gotten a job. I'm starting tomorrow. The salary is very good. Another person will call you. Oh, by God's grace, I've gotten a job. I'm starting tomorrow. This thing kept happening. Everybody would call. One person's phone they said, when I saw the salary, I nearly fainted. I was like, and I used to talk to my mom a lot. I was like, hey! Some of us, where did we even pass? Once some people are fainting at their salary, we even want the one that will not faint, but they're not even getting. So, in the process, one thing I realized was, until you become fed up with your current situation and you decide to pursue change, nothing good will come your way. If you don't understand how things work in life, your comfort zone will make sense to you. When I mean comfort zone, it's not as if you're enjoying it too. There are people who are suffering, but that's their comfort zone for them. Because for them to move, they cannot move. I spent so many years before I finished school, I was thinking about this particular thing. I'm like, how come some people get what they want in life, others don't? Okay, so for us that we don't know anymore, what do we do? So I was like, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. So why don't God just bless me? So you begin to ask yourself, God, does it really exist? Does God exist? I mean, because you want to like, if you are blessing people, just bless all of us. So one day I was driving my sister's car, and I was in traffic. When I got to the traffic light, you know, they people sell dog chains, all kind of things in traffic. You see some old, some young, and all kind of things. And that day I was like, see, people are selling traffic, looking at them, and this is an air-conditioned car. Even though it's not for me, I'm still an air-conditioned car. Going somewhere. That day when I got home, I was reflecting about the whole thing. Because when I was in the traffic, something dawned on me that if God was to share success from heaven, truth be told, I won't be the first. Neither would I be the second, third, fourth, or fifth, or even tenth in line to receive it. There are others way more holier than you. So what I noticed was, what separates the rich from the poor is what you know. Because someone standing in traffic selling doctrine, that's what he or she thinks will bring in money. But truth be told, that profit you make from doctrine in traffic can easily be made from a different form of business. You don't necessarily have to stand in traffic to sell, to make a living. But the person feels that is what he can use to make a living. So what I really liked was that if God was sharing it from heaven, and then took me to cry. Somebody's son is dying at the hospital. They need just 2,000 or 5,000 cedis to pay the hospital bills. If not, the person will die. They are crying. Someone is in the village. What to even eat for a day is a problem. Someone in traffic, when he is done, he will go and sleep under a kiosk or under somebody's container. But here I am. I have a place to sleep. Driving in someone's air-conditioned car. As for the food car, I was giving away his card. I wanted to come by force diet. But he is doing by force dieting because the food, it doesn't even have it to eat. So if God was coming to share, why would God bypass that person and come and give it to me? As I come from the beginning, I said, success in life depends on you. It is what you know and don't know that separates you from failure and success. So after this whole thing that I was thinking of, when I came to the conclusion that, see, when you move, God moves. That's the final conclusion I came to. When you move, God moves. And the level of movement you do depends on the blessing that comes your way. But if you seek knowledge and understand how life works, You will go through the process and you will rise. So you will be selling in traffic today, but if you understand how things work in life, you will always be there. I remember there was this particular man that my mom was talking to. My mom was telling him that, see, though you are selling in traffic, by 1 p.m., my mom was an educational person. By 1 p.m., you are done. Are you aware you can use 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. to learn education? You can learn something new so that in 5 years from now, you don't need to still be in traffic. He just loved it because he was seeing quick money. If you tell people how to achieve success, based on my experience, I can tell you 90% will snub it. Because they think it happens. It's by luck. But success is created. With this understanding, I went out there to pursue or begin my hustle. I went out there to begin my hustle. I started doing a lot of things. Because I've come to understand that, see, whatever I lay my hands upon, God will bless it. So I don't need to wait for somebody to give me a job before I feel comfortable. If the job is not coming, go out there and create your own opportunity. We all have in mind the lifestyle or things we want from life. But until you get it, be willing to go out there to create your own opportunity. Keep creating your own opportunities until your desired opportunity arrives. Don't sit idle, waiting. Because waiting idle, nothing good comes from it. But before I jump the process, let's go through the process. Let's go through from the process I want to take you through now. How do you create success in life? Or how do you start from zero to a hero? The reason why I use from zero to a hero was because this was something that always came to mind that, okay, if you are saying success in life is created, or everyone can achieve success, someone in the village or someone who knows no one who is in traffic, if you tell this person that you can become despite of Ghana, the person asks you how. Because based on what he knows and based on his level, to him is impossible. But when you know the right keys and the right principles, anything you want to achieve, you can achieve it. It's all about knowing how things work. If I give this phone to you and you don't know the password, no matter what you do, you cannot gain access into it. So if you don't understand how life works or how things happen in life, no matter what you do, you keep struggling. But if you understand the principles of how things work in life, things become easy for you. And the first key I always tell people is put God first. See, you can decide to do whatever you want to do. Along the line, you will learn the hard way that God is always the first factor. Put God first, because you need the grace of God to succeed. This morning, if you didn't wake up, no matter what you do, there's nothing you can achieve. And good health and protection comes from God. Waking up to life is the grace of God. God needs to be your foundation. Before you venture into anything, always put God first. Your relationship to God and with God should be secured. Make God a priority in your life. Normally we start on our own. We go the way we want to go. But somewhere along the line, you always come and let the fact that it's all about God. When you put God first, things begin to happen. Yes, you have to take the first step. But without help, how do you do it? The people are rich, but they cannot enjoy their money today. Some are always in the hospital. When you are alive, it's by the grace of God. Whatever life you want to create, always put God first. God is the foundation of the life we are living. God makes the difference between the unbeliever and the believer. The beauty of putting God first is, yes, the unbeliever will pay the price, will go through the process. You too, you will go through the process. But the beauty of putting God first is that you go faster. What it took an unbeliever 10 years to achieve will take you a believer 4 or 5 years to achieve. You are all going through the same process, but what happens to go faster? Normally, we always say that, okay, if you want to create the life you want, go after your passion. You normally ask people, what is their passion? What do you have your passion? What passion do you have in life? I'm sure if I ask many of you, the first question would be, what's your passion? What's your passion? But on my journey, I realized your passion can kill you. When reality indicates hunger, talking of passion, it's good to pursue your passion, but you need to face reality. Your passion can kill you. And I'm honest about this opinion. Someone will not agree with this opinion. But when I'm done, you understand. You have a passion to be a singer. But singing too, you need to be a star to start making money. So if I tell you go and pursue your passion, and you have a family to feed, what do you do? So it's not always about passion. As I come at you from the beginning, I said, just write some things down. When you write them down and you know your passion, the first key is to distance yourself from poverty. And to do that is to go out there and find something to do. With all that things you didn't want to do, but reality will make you do it. Reality will make you do things you don't have to do. Because you want to meet your passion in the future. You have bills to pay. You want to create the life you want, but you need money. Money does almost everything. So for you to create the life you want or achieve the success you want, you will need to learn how to create money. And to create money is not about passion. Passion always comes in, but the beginning is not about passion. It's about what can give me the money I want. So if you know your passion, but your passion is not feeding you, or it's not bringing income, don't sit waiting. Go out there. The question is, what can I do? You finish school, you're expecting that a big company will come and employ you. But no company is coming. Your expectation is not being met. Reality will determine to you that, see, go out there. There are people I know who are staying home and they are waiting for the right moment. The truth is, the right moment will never come until you create one for yourself. So to achieve the life you want, it's not about passion. It's about going out there to pursue something. Some have to be drivers before their passion is fulfilled. We all have our passions. We've written it down. We know what we want to do in 5 years, 6, 10 years from now. And what we are doing today is nowhere near it. We are only doing it because we have bills to pay. For others, their passion is paying them right from the beginning. I can say maybe a footballer, his passion is to play football. And he's gotten a good club and he's earning money. That's good for him. But the other footballers, I know that today, they're no longer playing ball. They're in town doing something else. Because their passion is not paying off. If you're a footballer, let's say you're 35, and still you've not got any club to play, and I can't tell you go and chase your passion. Your passion is football. But reality is there's an age limit. But the good thing is that when you pursue something to do and you have money, you can always come back to your passion. Your passion has been football. You couldn't play, but you can own a club. So the key is don't sit idle. Always be on the go. It's money we all want. If I ask you right now, what do you want? I'm sure 99% of what you say, money will do it. And to get money or to pursue wealth also, it's about anything at all. I always say this in the world. God said He will bless the works of our hand. So anything you find doing is a blessing. Someone asked me, okay, what are the 3 basic keys that somebody can use to create wealth? I was like, oh, it's simple. Find something to do. Do it diligently. Be a master at it. 3 basic keys. You want to create wealth. All what I'm about to tell you, the summary of it is this in 3 things. 1, find something to do. 2, do it diligently. 3, be a master at it. These 3 keys will bring you money. In any area, no matter what, no matter who you are, it will bring you money. Oh, I've realized that, okay, of late, people who are sewing, they're making a lot of money. Okay, can I also learn how to sew? I will, fine, let me go and learn it. If I learn it, the next thing is, be a master at it. You're a master at it. Do it diligently. What are some of the problems in the field? Oh, most people will tell you, come for your thing in 2 weeks' time or 1 week time. It will turn to 1 month. Some will do it shady. Do it diligently. Be different. So if it's money you want, these 3 keys, anyhow you use them, it will work for you. But let's go through the process. Avoid the blame game. If you want to create the life you want, avoid the blame game and stop making excuses. This is a biblical key. The Israelites, it would have taken them a day or 2 to get to the promised land. But it took 40 years for a reason. So long as you are alive, that means that God knows you can still achieve whatever your heart desires are. Stop the blame game. If my uncle can only come and pick me from Ghana, won't my life be better? If my father had not done this, would I be here? Would I be in this situation today? If only this. The blame game destroys you. Stop the blame game. Play the blame game means you don't know the power of God on your life. Anything that someone can do for you, you can do it for yourself better. So you don't need to play the blame game. It's a blessing if somebody comes to assist you. But if no one comes, don't blame anyone. Keep going. I once told a cousin of mine, he got angry. I'm like, you're always saying our uncle, our uncle, our uncle, our uncle. I'm like, but are you aware we have nephews and nieces in the village? Are you by chance one morning wake up and send them home or call them to bless them and change their life? He said, are you serious? I'm like, they three guys in the village saying, my uncle, if my uncle in Accra can only come for me. I'm like, you see, you won't do it for them in the village because you think we are all in Ghana. But I'm waiting for somebody from America to come and do it for you. Take charge of your life. The blame game will get you nowhere. If you really want to create the life you want, forget about the blame game. Yes, things will not always go the way you want. Things will not always happen the way you want it. But always take responsibility and move on. The blame game brings nothing good. It only delays your progress. If you keep blaming people, you will always be doing it. You will go nowhere. There's this saying that is about he who blames people has not understood life. And he who blames himself has still understood life. But he who blames no one has arrived at the destination of success. Because once you stop blaming people, that means you finally understood how life works. It's amazing how you hear people talking about the fact that so government will not create jobs for us. Government will not do this. Government will not do this. In Ghana, you have to create your own life. So if you are to blame government, then you keep on blaming government forever. Nothing good can ever come your way if you don't change your mindset. Our mindset plays a major role in helping us create the life we want. No matter your background, no matter where you are coming from, your mindset is a major key. If you see someone driving, let's say, a V8 or a nice Ferrari, what comes to mind? Lately, let's say you see a young boy or young girl driving a nice car, what comes to mind? Fraud. Ashawo. A lot of things. See, success in life works in a funny way. What you condemn, you can attract. What you condemn, you can attract. It's like insulting a man of God. No matter how many times that man of God prays for you, it will work. I'm not saying the person, you don't know how the person got what they got. Appreciate it. Have the mindset of appreciation. But if you condemn, how can you attract it? If you are saying, a young boy will find a whole trick of a fair way, by now, fraud. But you're also a young boy. But in your list of vision or your list of things you want, you also want a nice car. So if a young boy cannot own a nice car, how can you also want to own it? A growth mindset appreciates things, knows that it is possible. So if you see someone doing something, the sky is big enough to accommodate all of us. Have a growth mindset. When someone is doing something you want to, you know you also want for yourself, or is having something you also want for yourself, don't condemn. It's not about envy. Appreciate it. What you appreciate, you attract. I don't care how you got your money. It's what you are are doing with your money that in future I also want to do. But I'm going through my process differently. Appreciate it. Don't have a fixed mindset in life. With a fixed mindset, nothing good can be done to come your way. There are people that no matter how many times you try to help them, it won't work. Because their mindset is fixed. Everything starts from the mind. The power of the thought. Everything starts from the mind. The cars, phones, and things you see today, it becomes from someone's mind. So if you want to live this lifestyle, start creating it from your mind. If your mind cannot see it, you cannot make it a reality. What you can't see, you can't achieve. I was talking to a colleague the other day at the airport. There was someone that an opportunity came and I wanted to give the opportunity to him. I was like, you know, there's this opportunity. He said, no. I want to say to you what he said. Maybe I'll be free. Maybe away, all time, me, good, I'm okay. With that mindset, he knows he can only attract lesser things in life. So bringing a big opportunity his way is not possible. With such a person, anything you do won't work. Because his mindset is fixed. He doesn't see himself succeeding. Hence, his mindset is limited, it's fixed. With a growth mindset, you know it's possible. You can take on challenges. We have what we call the mirror effect. You reflect your thoughts. So you can see someone who is a cleaner, but he sees himself to be a manager. The way he would dress, the way he does things. There was this story of the police trying to arrest someone. And he was like, you cannot put me down. And though the police put him down, he said, he will have put me down physically, but spiritually, I'm standing. He has refused to go down. Some of you are always condemning yourself. Hence, you only reflect your thoughts. If your thought has to do with condemnation, you're always condemning yourself, saying bad things about yourself. It's only bad things you attract. You attract what you think. So, whatever comes to mind is what we reflect. Some of these things, they are difficult to do. But when you start practicing it, you realize it works. You start seeing yourself in a different way. Though it's not yet reality, but you realize with time, it's beginning to manifest. The how is not our own to know, but it works. When I said I thought of getting a birth cert, but I realized that for you to travel, you first need a birth cert before a passport, before a visa. If you ask me how, I'll tell you I don't know. Because based on my background, I didn't know how I was going to travel. But because my mind could think of it, and I made the effort, it attracted it. You attract what you think. If you're always thinking about bad things, someone had in mind that, oh, I can create something that can lighten up a dark place. And in reality, it happened. The phone we are using, the cars, everything, it came from the mind. So we always need to control our thought. As a man thinketh, so is he. Don't look at your circumstance and be thinking of things. You may be staying in one single room, but that shouldn't be your limitation. When I said write 5 things, I said, well, don't look at circumstance. Just write what you think of. If you can think of it, then you can achieve it. So long as your mind can think of it, then you can achieve it. It's a basic rule. If you can think of it, you can achieve it. Someone had a mind to create Uber. You did not have it. Because your mind cannot handle it. So the person who created Uber, Facebook, everything, it was an idea. You too, God has given you your mind. There are things you can think of. If you can think of it, if you can see it, you can attract it. And in life, you need to be hungry. There are people who are not hungry in life. Nothing moves them. When you are not hungry, you are always relaxed. I don't know if you've tried fasting before. If you like, you want to do 6 to 6 fasting. When it's 4 o'clock, 4 p.m., you realize you just can't wait for it to be 6. You are hungry, just waiting for the 6 p.m. to... Some will even change their time. They'll make it 1 hour faster. When you are not hungry for your goals or your dreams in life, it will be difficult to achieve it. The hunger drive pushes you to go at all lengths to achieve your dreams. When you are hungry, you don't look at circumstance. When you are hungry and you see food, the first thing is, let me quench this hunger. It is not, let me quench my appetite. You won't see a hungry man saying, I feel for this food that is served at Hacho, whilst it's at Circle. The first thing is, let me find something to quench this hunger. Then I'll go to Hacho and get my food. So that's how come I use the passion and reality scenario. Be hungry. Hungry for good things. Develop that hunger drive for good things in life. It's not a sin to want it. There are people that when they got their first car, because their whole family, they are the first people to own a car, they have arrived. Nothing moves them again. When you are hungry, you develop more creative ideas. It is your ideas that will open doors for you. And it's your ideas that will create wealth for you. If you're not hungry, you won't get any ideas. If you become so fed up with your current situation, and you become so hungry, every day when you sit down, you are thinking. You are thinking of what to do. Ideas will be coming to your head. You'll be writing them down. A time will come, you just go out there and be trying any of them. Be hungry. Don't be comfortable. Yes, you are doing well for yourself, but there's so much more you can do. Without a hunger drive, you will settle. Anything life has given to you, take it as normal. But when you are hungry, you realize there's so much more you can do. Our current state in life is not permanent unless we make it permanent. If you decide this condition, this cannot be my life, there's so much more I can do. When you develop that hunger drive, you'll be amazed the things that will come your way. The hunger drive makes you attach a sense of urgency to anything you do. There are people who know exactly what they are supposed to do. But the question is, they always feel relaxed because they feel there's so much time. There's no hunger. If you have that hunger drive and you're driving and someone tells you to go and drive Uber, you don't mind. You get up and go and do it. Because you are so hungry for success that you are willing to stop at nothing until you achieve it. Somebody who is not hungry, if you tell a person, oh, you know, there's no job at the moment, why don't you do this? Have the hunger drive. Everything brings money. Some may not be pleasant at the moment, but know that whatever situation you find yourself in is always not permanent. There are better days always ahead. Plan your life. See, nothing happens in life by mistake. It happens according to a plan. Those without a plan are the ones that anything comes their way. Have a plan. Oh, this year I want to do this. This month I want to do this. Next year I want to do this. These things, it works. Forget about the how. Their process, just go through them. Yours is to plan your life. Plan the things you want for yourself. There are people who don't have any plan for their life. So anything that comes, they go with it. When you plan your life, it creates the discipline you need in achieving it. Because a planned life knows what to do and not to do. But a life without plan, anything goes. When you plan your life, you will set goals. And the thing about goals is that when you start smashing your goals, it gives you the urgency and the faith to believe that you can do more greater things. From the beginning, I told you about my travel experience thing. When I was able to smash that goals, it gave me that courage that any goal I set, I can achieve it. This year I realized that almost all the goals I set some years back in my life, I have achieved all of it. I was just thinking of some stuff and going realize that, whoa, almost all the goals I set, I've been able to achieve them. So, if you don't have goals, there are three main areas I always encourage people to have goals in. Your spiritual life, your health, and your financial life. You need goals in these areas. Your spiritual life, your health, and your financial life. We are not just on earth. Things do happen. You need goals on how you plan to develop your spiritual life. Whatever your faith or belief is, you need goals on how to develop it. And no matter the vision or plans you have for your life, without goals, you need goals concerning your health. If your health is not good, you cannot achieve anything. You need to take good care of your health. That's why you need goals in your health area. You may have all the big plans, big dreams, everything, but if your health is bad, it will fail you. And one way that you can lose all the wealth you create, the fastest way, is bad health. When you start paying hospital bills, there are medicines that when people buy. Someone was telling me that in a month, his dad spends about 10,000 cedis on medicine. I'm like, wait. Pension, spending 10,000 cedis on medicine. And you young boy, graduate, to pay a cry. But the thing is, if you don't set goals in your head area will make you know that, okay, see, I'm growing. I need to start exercising. There are foods you need to stop eating. There are things you need to stop. If not, your health will become bad. And also, you need to set financial goals. These are the three main areas that I always encourage people to set goals in: spiritual, health, and finance. The good thing about financial goals is that wealth doesn't happen overnight. It happens after a series of activities. So let's say you've never had 1,000 cedis in your account. If you don't have goals in your financial area, you may think it's impossible. You may think it's not possible. So that's when you're like, what is 6 figures? He said, oh, when your account balance is 6 zeros. I was like, explain further. Oh, maybe 100,000 cedis. I'm correct, right? 100,000 cedis is 6 figures. I was like, hey! You pay the phone. They're talking about cedis. I was like, whoa, you pay the phone. So that day when I go home, I was like, honestly speaking, it has never crossed my mind that we even have anything like 6 figures. So I was like, okay, let me check the figures I'm on. I was like, hey! I have a long way to go. A very long way for me to go. But what happened? I started setting financial goals. Because if I've now come to learn we have 6, 7 figures, and I'm struggling with some figures down there, I need to get there. With the financial goals, it got to a time I realized 1,000 cedis was no longer a problem. 2,000 wasn't a problem. 10,000 wasn't a problem. Now the zeros were increasing. But first, when there was no financial goals, I was just living life anyhow. Anything you want, or anything I want, I go for it. My tomorrow will always take care of itself. But financial goals makes you disciplined. And that's the only fastest way to creating wealth. If you have financial goals, you know that, okay, currently I'm around 2 figures or 3 figures. I need to be in the 4, 5, 6. You will step out there to work for it. When I realized if I want to increase my figures, that means I have to do more work. There are some things that when you are doing, no matter what you do, your figures will not increase unless you add a different source of income. So having financial goals will let you know about all these things. You are working, you know your salary. And because you don't have any financial goal, you think you are okay. When kids come in, things begin to change, you realize this money is not enough. Having financial goals will let you know that, see, this salary thing I'm doing is not helping. Let me start doing something on the side. So now when you close 5 p.m. from work, you don't go and sit and watch TV. You start doing something else. Selling on the side or doing something else. As I always say, things don't happen just don't happen. They happen for a reason. And everything happens according to a plan. Setting financial goals makes your life easy. It really works. At first, if I want something, so long as I want it and I see the money, I go for it. You don't have to talk plenty. So long as I don't see the money. But having financial goals made me realize, even if you have the money, the time may not be right to go for it. Those without financial goals, they're the ones that when you give them your money, it never comes back. When you borrow money to somebody who doesn't have financial goals, that money won't come back. Because once he spends it, doesn't know how you get another. Set financial goals. When you set them and you start smashing it, you'll be so happy. Oh, from now to December, I want to see maybe 10,000 cedis in my account. And it happens. You realize, whoa, I had the financial goal of having 10,000 cedis in my account, it has happened. That means if I want 20, it can happen. At times, your financial goals will let you know that, see, it is time to go out there and do more. It is time to go out there and do more. Lately, I realized it is time for me to do more because my financial goals have changed. Always set financial goals and be disciplined. Without discipline, you cannot achieve the life that you want. Always be disciplined. Without a plan, without plans, without goals, you don't be disciplined. If you don't have goals that, okay, I want to do this by end of the month, you will just be taking a small time. Your goals should be time bound. Your goals should be time bound. Time is not on anyone's side. If you don't add time bound to your goals, you always think you have enough time. There's something in you want to do. You know you have to do it. Oh, but I couldn't do it this year. I'll do it next year. Oh, I'll do it next year. I'll do it next month. You always feel there's enough time. But when you have goals and you are disciplined and you add time bound to it, you know when to do something and when not to do it. Discipline overrides your emotion. Oh, I don't feel like going to work today. It's my own business. Let me sleep. So you sleep. But if you are disciplined, you know you have a goal to meet. So even though your emotions are, this week, let me take it off. Hey, this weather is about to rain. Let me stay at home. I can't come and kill myself. But discipline will let you know that this weather, whether rain or shine, I have to go. A disciplined life always knows what to do and not to do, what not to do. And always challenge yourself. Always challenge yourself. Be content with what you have. But don't be comfortable. Because there's so much more you can do. Be grateful. Appreciate, have a grateful heart. Appreciate everything God is doing in your life. No matter the current state you are in, no matter how bad or whatever you think is going on around you, be grateful. Appreciate it. Be content. Appreciate, thank God for it. Because somebody wished they were in your situation. But don't be comfortable. Because there's so much more you can do. Don't settle for less. Always be on the move. Even now, every year, they are changing our phones. New models are coming. At times you ask yourself, but this new model, was it necessary? Because there's not so much difference between the old and the new. So if even products knows that Product companies know they have to upgrade, keep upgrading, because they know the world is moving at a fast pace. Don't be comfortable with your situation. Keep moving. Keep upgrading. That's why you need the goals. Once you smash one, you move to the next one. You set new ones, you go. And one thing I've heard people always ask me is, how? How do I? The how is not your own. As I kind of the first key we spoke about was your foundation. If your foundation is God, then the how is not your concern. Because you know whatever you can achieve in life, it's not by your own strength, but it's by the doing of God. So yours is just to go through the process. Because God will not give you a land full of honey and milk without you going through the thorns of life. So you know you are just going through the process. God wants the good things for you, but the process you are going through is just preparing you for the things that God has in store for you. So the how should not be your concern. Yours is just to go through the process. Some of these things, I've tried it several times and I've realized it works. Our helpers usually arrive when we're in the process of pursuing our dreams. They don't come to start it with you. They meet you in the middle of it. So yours is to move. The how, forget about it. In the process, it will happen. But if you sit waiting to know, oh, how can this thing be possible? How can I do it? How can I? Hey, no. Let me wait. You want to plan everything perfectly before you move. You want to know how it's going to be possible. You are never going to move. Our fear of failure is what always makes us to be extra careful, that we want to know the how before we move. If you tell somebody, oh, you can do this, you tell me how. He or she wants to know. You tell somebody, oh, experience makes you learn certain things that when you are doing it, people will not understand. A lot of people say, oh, rich people are stingy, they are this, they are this. I tried some time ago, I tried helping some kind of people. I tried a lot of time, I realized one thing. The more you give them money, the more they come up with excuses. The more you give them, someone will come to you, oh, I want to go and start this business. I want to go and do this. All I need is 3,000 or 4,000 cedis so that I can be able to start. Oh, okay, take the money. Oh, I want to go to the driving school to go and learn how to drive so that I can drive a taxi. Oh, take the money for going to license. I realized the more you give them the money, the more they come back with excuses. Oh, the money you gave to me to start this business, my mother was sick, or this thing happened, I had to do. So, right now what I do is, I prefer to support people who are in the process of doing something, not those who want to start it. Because you can always start it anyhow. You don't need to be great to start anything, but you need to start in order to be great. So when you have excuses for why you are not starting something, that is a clear indication that you don't even want to do it. So lately, I don't even give my money to people who want to start, because I know what the outcome will be. Though there are some few 1% that will truly go ahead with the initial plan, but to be on the safe side, you just know what to do. Don't wait to know the how before you start. That is fear of failure. Embrace failure. See, start it anyhow. If you fail, be happy. At least failing makes you know how not to do it another time. You stand so much to gain in risking it all to start something than staying safe and not starting at all. Embrace failure. Anybody who has achieved success in life was once a failure. Anyone who has achieved success in life was once a failure. When you see somebody with that failure, stay aware, beware of that person, be careful. Because everyone has a scar of failure. He who has a scar of failure has nothing to teach the next generation. If in the history books you're talking about president of Ghana, someone can say, when everyone said this current president can never be president, first, second, third, for whatever attempt, he cannot be president. He kept going. So even if you don't know any history at all, our current president's history should let you know that failure is not the end. You need to start in order to, the first one you lost, second one, third you won. Even the third, everybody said, oh, this man forget. Never. If you don't know history, you can always use our present story as a history and see. If you keep going, as for the failing, you will fail. But success awaits you so long as you don't give up. Success can never elude you if you don't give up. Everything happens according to times and seasons. So this time or season may not be right, but you just keep going. If you fail this season, it doesn't mean that's the end of life. There is time for everything. Truth be told, there are some seasons. See, all you do is to fail. Recently, I was so angry. I was like, I've been failing a lot. Like, certain things I've been failing at recently. I'm like, unfortunately, the feeling is becoming too much. There are things that you know, oh, as for this one, I can never fail. But you go, it won't work. I'm like, whoa. We are all humans. No matter how you even know the process, no matter how you are well gingered up, you can still fail. It's just part of life. When things happen that way, don't be hard on yourself. Just take it easy. And know that, see, it's just a season. This phase too will pass. There are times nothing seems to be working. Everything will just be slow. It's part of life. Don't stress it. Don't stress it. Just keep going. You keep going, you keep failing. Don't worry, keep going. So long as you don't give up, you will succeed. And always learn to ask. I'm going to pause over here. Always learn to ask. See, the life you want for yourself, in order to create it, there will always be people who are part of the story. You cannot create it on your own. Always learn to ask. You cannot be all-knowing. Always learn to ask. See, just ask. Me, I can ask, people will get fed up with me. What I tell people is that, see, if I don't come and tell you, the people are going to ask for help, or the people are going to ask to do certain things, All you see is the results, but you don't know how I got it. So if I come and ask and you say no, you insult me, you laugh at me, I don't care. Because where I'm going, there are people there who don't know the process unless I tell them. Sure. Ask. The worst that can happen is what? No. See, if you ask, the worst one can you say no. If that person says no, look for the next person to ask. So ask questions. When I say ask, I don't mean go asking for money. All most of us know how to do is to ask for money. See, if I don't know anything at all, one thing I know about rich people, or successful people, is that as soon as you ask them for money, they avoid you. Ask them how they got to where they are and how they can help you. Ask questions. Some years back, I was at airport shop late night. I was asking one of my bosses today, he's not here. I was asking him questions. How he got to where he was. I asked so many questions. And he was telling me, answering me, telling me everything. So that day when I got home, I was like, whoa. So this is how this man got to where he is today. No problem. I'm going to follow the same pattern. At times, you don't stress yourself. See, there's nothing new under the sun. Those who are creating new things, they exist. I'm not yet thinking to be part of it. I'm here to copy. Learn to ask. You see this person, he's doing so well. Ask him how he's doing it. Maybe it's not the same business, but he will share some keys with you that it can help you and encourage you to also go along with your process. There are times that when you get fed up along the line, the questions you ask successful people, the answers they gave you, when you get stuck, those answers will come back to mind and let you know that, see, this man told me that he got to this stage at some point in time, but he was able to overcome it. And you will also do what? You know that, oh, let me keep going. I will overcome it. Ask questions. What you want successful people are doing. The life you want is already out there. Ask questions. You see someone doing it, ask them how they are doing it. Some will not mind you, some will tell you, but yours is to ask. I'm really amazed because there are people, they'll be complaining about life. So I sit in front of them, looking at them, they'll be complaining. And after complaining, I'll be like, so you mean you've asked everybody, nobody wants to help you, blah, 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 like that. Somebody came to ask me how I make it. And I told the person, oh, you know, put God first. They say, Boba. Tell me how you get the money. You are telling me, put God first, do this, go through the process. I'm like, see, you are asking me the process. And I'm telling you how I began. He said, no, there's something you are doing that is bringing in money. That's what I want. Not the long story process. I'm like, this is exactly what I'm telling you. This is what's bringing the money. He got angry and left. Because, I don't know, maybe he was expecting for me to tell that, oh, go and buy this and go and sell it here and then you make this profit. As I'm like, no, this is the process. So when you ask people questions, always have in mind that they will share with you what works with them. It might work for you, it might not work for you. No advice is foolish. Just take it as it is and move on. Don't go around insulting or condemning it.
People share with you based on what works for them. Somebody's own was he was sleeping, and boom, an uncle called him, and overnight he made it. That was his story. So if he shares that with you, you can choose to also go and sleep, and wait for an uncle to call you, or you can move on to somebody else you feel has a better experience. And this is the final key I'm sharing. Look for problems to solve. See, always look for problems. Look for problems your friends are having. Look for problems your family members are having. Look for problems. To get money is to solve problems. You are not having money because you are not solving any problem. Always look for problems. Don't avoid them. I love problems. So I thought I call myself the solution man. See, the more problems you solve, the more money you make. If you are not solving problems, you are not making money. It's as simple as that. This microphone is solving the problem. What's the problem it's solving? It's helping to amplify my voice. The phone you are having is solving a problem. What problem is it solving? It's helping you connect with people. The car you want to buy is solving a problem. What problem? You are tired of working. You want to now be a guy. So you need a car. Everything around us is solving the problems. So when you are not solving any problem, you are not making any money. So if you are broke, or if the life you want, you are not getting it, or the life you are currently living is not going the way you want it, stop blaming people. Ask yourself the question, what problems am I solving? If you're not solving any problem, how will somebody pay you for it? Look for problems and solve. No matter how little that problem is, it will generate you money. There's no problem you will solve that you will not get money. Somebody in your office cannot be going to the market every weekend. That's it. That's a problem. If you can solve it, you make money. Sure. I always look for problems. You may not know. I'm solving a problem for you. You may not know. I'm helping you, but I'm solving a problem. When you solve problems, you make money. The simple logic. So look for problems. What's the easiest way you can look for problems? Among your friends, among your family. Instead of condemning them, but I look for solutions to it. Whenever you see problems, see it as a means of making money. Because when you run from the problems, people will come and find a solution and make the money. If you like study the Chinese people, that's what they are doing lately. They are solving problems. Oh, Africa, some of them like cheap side clothing, so let's do the fake ones for them. So if you can't buy the original, buy the fake. That one, Togo is even doing it. Solve problems. Africa, they don't have money. They like projects, but they can't fund it. Let's fund it for them. And let's maintain it or make more money. See, when you start looking for problems to solve, you start generating money. So if you are there, you are always free. You don't have anything to do. You are always relaxing, peace of mind. No, the answer is simple. You are not solving any problem. Whatever your passion or your gift or your talent is, the question is, ask yourself, how can I use it to solve a problem. So for those who don't want to, who still want to pursue their passion, the question is, if all else fails, ask yourself, how can I use my passion to solve a problem? And I can assure you that there is a need for your solution. The sky is big enough to accommodate all of us. Accra is big enough to accommodate all of us. At first, I always felt like anything I want to do, somebody else is doing it, let me forget. But I realized the more you forget, the more new ones, people, same things come up in abundance. So everybody has their market. Look for problems to solve. Just look within yourself. What are you good at? If you are good at something, just start going out there and find ways and means you can use that problem. That's what you are good at to solve a problem. Anybody you meet, you tell the person, I do this. There are times that people need solution, but they don't even know you can offer it. Oh, tell the person, I can do this for you. I can do this. I do this. I do this. And I do everything. I'm a credit master. Anything you want on credit, you call me. That's the problem I like solving. Those who like things on credit, they are my friends. I like solving that problem. That is my field. You too, you may have yours. You want something on credit, you call me, I'll find a solution for you. That is what I think I have the skills for. But you also have skills for something. Look for a problem and solve it with. Look for a problem and solve it. Problems should not deter you or put you away. See it as an opportunity to create revenue. See it as an opportunity to create the life you want. It will be challenging at first, but when you keep going, you realize that the more you solve problems, the more you develop your skill. When you see a coach coaching from a smaller club, from small clubs, you realize that what? If he's winning trophies, the club did not exist to showcase their name. They want to win trophies. So once you start helping them win trophies, you are solving their problems for them. And the more you solve problems, now the world knows that, oh, okay, this person knows how. You got to a point, everybody wanted Mourinho. Yeah. Because they realized anywhere he goes, no matter how useless the club is, he knows how to perform the magic. Yeah. So they were after him. Whatever you are good at, whatever you have passion for, learn how to use it to solve problems. And the more problems you solve, the more solution comes your way. When you see people praying to God, fasting and praying, when I hear people passing comments, I've been there before, so all I tell them is, "Accept would I." We go to God because we know He solves problems. The more we go to Him is because we know He can solve the problem. And if God has solved the problem in the past, it gives you that courage and confidence to always go to Him. When everything you've tried has failed, and you realize the only solution left is to go to God. So when you see people praying, maybe you don't have any problem. Let those who have problem pray, because they're looking for solution. Pray. As you're looking for problems to solve, God is also solving your problems when you go to Him. To create the life you want, it gets to a stage, it's only prayer that can help you. You will try all the keys you know. You will try everything you know. The only last thing left is what? Prayer. So, we started with God as the foundation, and we are ending with God as the solution. Thank you.
Thank you for this seminar and also the organizers of this seminar. I have loads of questions to ask, but for now I'll just ask the ones I feel are more constructive. And if you have been able to pen down while listening to your talk is, you made mention about investment. And I'd love to ask what your strategy is as regards someone who, starting from the bottom rung and you're still doing your 9 to 4, 9 to 5 job, and all you have can barely help you out with your monthly expenses. So what's your opinion or what's your take on at that stage? Do you scrape to save, or you just use your money and spend it as you go and hope an investment comes that you can start saving from? I don't know if I'm putting the question very well. So, like, you find yourself in your starting life, you find yourself at the stage where all you have can barely take you. And you made a very good point on savings, but what I have can barely take me. So how do I start saving at that stage? Or do I start hustling to gain more that I can save? Or at that stage, just spend it while, amen.
You realize that if you are earning little and you cannot save, when you earn much, you can still not save. Saving is a culture. If you don't build it, you cannot practice it. So no matter how bad your salary is, if you know that, okay, savings is a must. You see, there's a reason why we save. Maybe you eat 3 times a day. But if you know savings is a must because savings can help liberate you or create a future you want, then maybe you need to sacrifice and start eating once a day. Like now how they say 0-1-0. You understand? So your financial goals will determine the kind of life you have to live. So when people say that they cannot save, it's a lie. I hear people saying, oh, if I start earning this amount of money, then I can be able to save and also make something out of life. But the truth is, the more you earn, the more your appetite will change. So if you don't know how to save when you have little, thinking you will know how to save when you have more is a big lie. Because when you had little, maybe you are driving a small car, and because you thought that's what you could afford. Now, when you start earning more, you realize driving a small car, my back, if I pass through pothole, the challenges, how can I be suffering this way? Once let me go and buy a big car. Let me take a loan and go and buy a big car. At least when I buy a big car, my family and I, we can meet. There will always be. So, saving is a culture. You have to practice it. No matter the income or no matter what you're earning, when you save, it's part of your financial goals. You know that, okay, so let me give you a scenario. You realize that, okay, why do we save? For me, I realize savings help you to generate more money. So let's say maybe you manage to save, let's say someone is earning maybe 500 cedis a month. Very terrible. Even transport in a month will consume it. But this person knows that I have to save because without savings, I cannot generate the life I want. So maybe there will be times that maybe the person has to walk for 30 minutes before picking a car to save something. So now you realize that, okay, maybe if I'm able to save 50 cedis for 5 months or 6 months, I'm able to generate 300 cedis. You know, I made reference to something that I like credit business. You understand? So maybe when you save 300 cedis, now the question then becomes, what can I do with these 300 cedis so that it will start generating me other forms of money? So you realize that maybe with these 300 cedis, I can go to town and go and buy shirts with 200 cedis and leave 100 cedis. This shirt of 200 cedis, if I sell it to 3 people in a month and I'm making 50-50 out of them, that means with 200 cedis within 1 month, I've generated 150 cedis extra. So I have 200 cedis. By the end of 1 month or 2 months, it has become 350 cedis. So when you save, it helps you do a lot of things you want to do, because there are times that there are things you want to do, nobody will help you do it. Nobody will believe in you. So the only way out is to save to be able to do it. So your income should not be an excuse why you cannot save. Because savings is always a must if you know the benefit of it. So there are times that maybe, for instance, you have to starve yourself and maybe the food you like, you don't have to eat it. There are people you see eating certain food every day. You will say, hey, this person is your favorite too. But in reality, that is the food he hates the most. But because he has to save, he has to love it. So saving is a sacrifice, but it's a must. If you cannot save when you have little, there's no way you can save when you have much. It's as simple as that. I don't know if that answers your question. You understand? So as for saving, it is not about what you are earning or no. It's a must that you need to save if you know what the benefit of it or what it can do for you in future. There are people who are working and they've been working for the past 5 years or 6 years. If their salary delays for 4 months, 2 months, the whole world will hear of them. You understand? And also the good thing about saving is that when you save, it grows. There are some people who are suffering today, and the only reason why they are suffering is because in their youthful days they did not save. Let me use maybe somebody who is working and is single and is earning maybe a little bit money, right? What you should know is that your company is not going to increase your salary because you are now married and you have children. They will increase salary based on their structures. So whether it can accommodate your family or not, it's not up to them. So when you are single, what you should know is this. Being single is the time to save for your future. It's not when you get married before you start planning on how to save. No. You know, okay, one day I'll get married in the future. When I get married, children will come. We will pay fees, we will do stuff. So if you know why you are saving that, okay, if I start paying school fees, this salary I'm earning, it won't do anything for me. You start saving from that. So saving is always a must. So those who cannot save with little, even when they have in abundance, they still cannot save. So that's it.
You have given a very brilliant lecture now. My only worry is that with the savings, I do a lot, but in my case, I do it for my wife. because out of the blue she will show up. I need this. I'll tell her, oh, the savings, take it. I think it's very important that we all see the part where you mentioned that is culture. And culture is the way of life. So if you make it a way of life, it will help you. However, when you save a little, you should spend a little. Because you know why? The example you gave concerning a friend whose father spent about 10,000 on drugs in his old age.
Yeah.
When I'm old, I don't need money. Yes. So now that I have the strength and I'm young and I can chill, let me chill some. Because I'm working for myself.
Yeah.
So that should be considered.
All right.
And also, I've made this observation that the part where you said we should be problem solvers, it's a way of getting additional income. But the challenge with most Ghanaians and with Africans is that we do not innovate. Like, we don't create anything. It's just looking at what others have done. Let me follow and let me also do a similar one. You see, when you go on YouTube and other media, you see these Chinese other people using very simple tools and certain resources to develop mind-boggling issues or things that you wonder, where did he get this idea from? So when you begin to innovate, you will think critically of how to succeed. That is where the success comes. Because really and seriously, sometimes people will ask you, how can I be of help? He doesn't know. Yes. There was a time I met one big man in my office. And then anytime he sees me, he says, how now? How now? How now? So I will go like the usual, I'm fine. Then one day he asked me, how now? I said, oh, okay, there's this business I want to do, but I will need about 60,000 Ghana cedis to go about it. Then he said, you are crazy, and he walked away. The next day, his secretary called me, said I should bring my account number, and then she wired the money into my account. I was shocked. Anyway, I needed the money, so I went ahead, used it. In about 4 to 5 months, I got the money back, and then I paid it into his account. Then he called me and asked me, were you serious about what you told me? I said, yes. He said, okay, I've seen the alert, and I'm surprised. Anyway, okay, so now anytime you need money, come. So if you don't take advantage of these things, wherever you go, you see people say, oh, how are you? And because we were in school, they taught us anytime. How are you? Say, I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. Let me end with this last point that I grew up in Cape Coast. Growing up in Cape Coast, there are several second cycle institutions. So in my mind, I knew I grew up to become a teacher because that is what I saw the people around doing. So when I grow up, I'll be a teacher. I will teach in one of the secondary schools, and I will live in a bungalow. So that was my mindset. Now you talked about the mirror effect and those mind issues. So I moved to Accra, and then I saw people going up and down. Hey, Accra is different. You see, people were jumping over each other, and I was asking them, so what are they doing? What way do they do? Where are the teachers? Then my coach told me, these people, they are not teachers. So are going to Abosokai, so are going to Katamaki, so are going to different places. So the mindset is very critical that if you yourself believe truly that you want to come out of your situation, you need, first of all, to develop your mindset. When you develop the mindset, anytime somebody tries to discourage you, it becomes difficult because the thing had already registered in your mind. When I was in Cape Coast, at a point, I almost did dreadlocks because we realized that the white ladies who tell their stories, they like people with dreadlocks. Yes. So all of us, to get a white lady, it doesn't mean dress nice, look nice. No. Rather, those guys with locks were getting the white ladies. So let us all begin to innovate. If you know you have some wild idea that will work for you, so great. Thank you very much.
Imagine you didn't ask. I was telling that in creating the life you want, it gets to a stage, all you have to do is to what? Ask. And about the enjoyment aspect, very 100% very necessary.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows me knows that. But I want to share something today, since we're in the seminar. Many people at times wonder how I do it. See, I have a simple strategy. With regards to the savings, right? I would say I do two types of savings. Saving for the future, and then saving for impromptu. So whenever I get money, I would like to split it into three parts. One for the future, one for impromptu. Savings for the future, if you like, I don't use anywhere, but I don't know what you can do to me or what story you can tell me that will make me go into that account. Because that has purpose in my mind that it is saving for the future. So no matter your income, if let's say out of 100%, 10%, we have needs. So maybe 10% is for my future. That 10%, after like 10 months or 2 years, it keeps growing. And that money, the matter is for my future. So I will never touch it. No matter what you tell me, I won't. How did I come by this practice? I realized that anytime people call me for money, when I see money in my account, I'm just going to go ahead and give it out. And then it will come to a time, and I'll be in distress. Impromptu will come, I need money. And I'll be calling them for my money. It will be stories to realize that, okay, no, I need to change. So start practicing these three types of savings, where one is for the future. If you want to practice the same thing, this is how I go about it. Saving for the future, don't take out huge part of your money. No. Saving for the future is a long-term thing to grow. So let's say any amount of money you feel like, let's say for instance, in a month, how much do you spend on restaurants or outside food? So some people are there in a month, they spend about 1,000 cedis, 2,500, a bit of level of income on outside food. So if I can spend 1,000 cedis on outside food in a month or on restaurant, then that means that I can put 1,000 cedis away for saving for the future. And I'm saving for impromptu, that one also a part of my money. Because that one, anytime I thought I need it, I can easily go and grab it. But for the future, I can never go near it. After that, when I take out what I need for basic things, the rest is in my account. If I realize I have enough that can let me have fun or travel, forget, the next thing you see is I'm out of town. So whenever I'm spending money on doing something, I don't have to think about tomorrow. Because I'm already practicing something over the years. So it will be difficult for me to go through this trend because what? It has been a culture that I'm practicing. So if you want to practice savings in a good way, I always advise people to use saving for the future and saving for impromptu. So for instance, if you are saving for the future, it has to be a discussion. If you are married, your wife needs to know about it. So your wife knows that, okay, saving for the future, it is for our future, it is for our kids. And saving for impromptu is for impromptu things. So no one can go near saving for the future. If even it is 50 cedis or 100 cedis, one thing I realized was this. You'll be surprised or amazed that today, as we sit here, somebody has been earning salary of maybe, let's say, above 2,000 cedis for the past 5 years. They've been working. Go to that person today. The person cannot boast of even 5,000 cedis. But what I realized was that if for the past 5 years, you are putting 200 cities away every month as savings for your future, today, I'm sure after 5 years, you can boast of that money in an account that you can easily follow. So always the savings, you can split it into two parts. One that you will never touch. That one, unless life and death. But for things like car tie, impromptu, whatever, yes, there are instances that I'd have to fall on taking money from saving for the future. But what I do is, I use the word discipline when we're talking. What I do is that I consider that as a loan. So I pay it back. I won't say it's my own money. I know that one is saving for the future. So if I happen to go and take from it, I put it back. If even it takes me 5 months or 8 months to put it back, I always do. So as for the saving for the future, no matter how small it is, even if it's 200 cities, 300 cities every month you are putting away, after 5 years, you'll be amazed. And I can assure you that there are people who have been working and earning good money. And today you go to them, they will tell you they cannot even boast of 10,000 cities in their account. So developing the savings culture will help you in the long run. It's not, there was one point I skipped that I'll just brush over it. It's the snowball effect. It's about the power of starting small. You understand? Whatever your goals are, I was supposed to add it to the point and I skipped it. You have to start small. You always have to start from somewhere. It always starts, I use the word that you don't need to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. You always have to start small for it to grow. The snowball effect only has to do with the fact that, see, it starts small, but it grows to become a bigger force that is able to resist it. So if you have the snowball effect in mind, if you apply it to your life, your finances, anything at all, you realize that it always starts small, but over time, it grows to become a bigger force. So if, let's say, you want to be a singer, any passion you want to do, you know that you have to start small in order to grow. People who think of growing before they start, it doesn't work. You always start from the beginning. So your finances, when you have the snowball effect in mind, you know that, see, if I start saving small, one day it will become something else. That's like how I use the word saving for the future. No matter how small that amount is, when you put it away that is for the future, and you are disciplined, you will never go near it. And after 5-10 years, even at times after 5 months, 6 months, you realize, whoa, I've never been able to boast of this money before. But now I can boast of it. There are some of you, the money you want, you already have it. I'll be able to as an example. I wanted an amount of money for something. I was wondering how I would come by it. And then I realized that I wasn't being prudent in my ways. So I started being prudent and managing my accounts very well. I realized that, see, after 4, 5, 6 months, I was able to raise the money. So this makes me realize that, see, savings is good. The money you want or whatever you want for a project, at times you already have it. You don't even need to pray or go to anybody for it. All you are supposed to do is save. And with a good saving culture, you realize that after 1 year, the money you badly need to start the business, you have it. So, boss, thanks very much for the insight. I realize that it helps.
Josh, you said you should go into your families, your friends, and look for a problem to solve. And also, you talked about you liking to be a creditor. I don't know how Ghanaians they like to pay back the money they lend, but we Nigerians, when you know you are lending somebody's money, just know it's something you will not you get. So if in a scenario when everybody is coming like that and you are like you want to lend out your money, I feel you are at a point you get exhausted because you are like, when you are a problem solver, you earn more. You earn, like, you use it to earning more to yourself. But in a scenario like that, don't you think it will actually drain you? Because you're trying to solve your family's problem, you're trying to solve your friend's problem, you're trying to be a creditor where you know your money is not coming back, except maybe you go and bring the police. And even with that, they would convince the police that, oh, they don't have it. And there's nothing you can do about it. Don't you think it will actually drain you down?
Solve problems that bring you money. Not family problems that will give you BP or drain your energy. If it's not bringing me, if you call me friend or family, your problem, it won't bring me money, I'll not even remind you. Solve problems. So let's say you need a phone, but you're not able to raise the cash. And I know you are credit worthy, you are trustworthy, you have integrity. I can solve that problem by giving you the phone and put interest on it and let you pay back. So don't go solving problems that generations have not been able to solve. Solve the ones that give you money. I always get angry when I see youth trying to solve family problems. Every day, uncle will call on phone. Until they can spend about 4 hours, 3 hours on phone. If you are by me, I'll tell you plain. You are wasting your life. Because don't come and call my phone and tell me what this auntie has done or this uncle has done. So when I said solve problems, look within friends and things that solve the problems that will bring you money. Look at what people are lacking that you think you can provide from them and get money from them. Not the ones you can do for free. If it's for free, run away. Because you need your peace of mind. Families will pour problems that are not even important. They'll pour. So long as you make yourself available. Every morning, they can call you every day. As for my mom, I always wonder, you can't make those calls around me. Because you come and stress my mom, the next thing is what? It's something else. So if your stress is, this is my policy. If your stress is not bringing you money, please sleep. I always tell people that if I tell you that I'm never busy, I'm always free. If I tell you I'm busy, that means it's bringing me money. If it's not bringing me money, trust me, I'm free. So I always tell people that I'm always free. As long as you see me using the word I'm busy, then you should know it's bringing me money. If it's not bringing me money, I will not even come out. I won't do it. So people that will go, not going to look for your auntie and your uncle that for the past 5 years, they've not been on good terms. So I said be a problem solver. So you are going to go and solve it. Unless you've charged your auntie, you've charged your uncle, and they're going to pay you to solve the problem, or maybe your rich uncle being the family is saying, anyone who can solve this problem, I'll give him $10,000. So it's simple. If the problem you are solving is this too, it's not bringing you money, it's not building your skills, please walk away from it. This is it. If it's not bringing you money and it's not building your skills, walk away from it. With regards to that, I said I like to solve credit issues for people. I don't dash money. I don't even give out loan. It's product. I'll give you the money to go and do it. I'll supply it for you if I think you are credit worthy. And as for paying back staffs, be a risk taker. Some things are there, experience will help you. I started doing credit business for more than the past 7 years. I've lost good amount of money, but at the same time, I've learned valuable lessons. So the lessons I have and the experience I have today, money can't buy it. So if I still want to do credit business, which I still do, I won't lose my money again. Because I've learned the ways that to lose money. One thing I will say is, never, ever, ever, ever loan out money to anybody. These things were going to be in the last section, but we can talk about it now. Never, ever, ever loan out money to anybody. especially if that money cannot be considered a gift. And as you said, in Nigeria, you consider it a gift. If you cannot consider that money a gift, don't loan it out. It's simple. Any money I loan out to me is a gift. And the other aspect to it is that have integrity. The person who can borrow you 100 cedis is the same person who can borrow you 100,000 cedis. So if you don't pay back the person that borrowed you 100 cedis, know that you have lost a key person in future. The life you want to build, integrity is part of it. As I come and use the word that success on earth does not depend on God. Because God has already made us successful. It is our attitude that determines the winners and the losers. There are people that once they borrow your money, they will never pay back. See, if you borrow money from me, you cannot borrow money from me for me to be poor. So refusing to pay back is a disadvantage to yourself. Because once you borrow from me, you don't pay back. In future, I'll never borrow you money again. One thing growing up, my pastor, I call my papa today, one thing he advised me was, Francis, live by principles. At first, I didn't live by principles. He told me, Francis, live by principles. Something happened, and he told me, you think you're a nice guy, you think you're kind, you think you're loving. It can get you into trouble. Live by principles. So there are some principles that I have today. Somebody will tell you, oh, you're a pastor, your business is not good. Fine. So long as it protects me, I'm okay. So everybody should have principles. You ask me about how I build a credit staff. Now I give you a scenario. There are principles I live by. I don't know you. I will come and give you something worth 100,000 cedis as credit. No. So live by principles. So please, the problem solving skills. Don't go and solve any problem that will give you money. If it's not, that's why I use the word that your phone is solving a problem. The phone, you bought it with money. So the company that created the phone is making money. So if the problem you are solving is not bringing you money, please run away. Some will not bring you money, but they will build your skills. Let me give you a scenario. For instance, people used to call me those days a lot that, oh, can you help me fill online application? Can you help me fill this country's visa form? Can you help me fill this? So one day, a person asked me that, people are always bothering you for this thing. Why don't you do a business in that field? Because almost every time, because the people are always calling you, can you help me fill this country? Can you help me do this? I was like, no. And it's true. I was always solving the problem of people who want to travel. It's a form of business. So now that at first, but I was doing it for free, nothing. If I decide to take it on again, now I've gained the experience by doing it for free. But now I can say I won't do it for free again. I'm going to charge. So though I was solving a problem that I wasn't making any money, but it was giving me a skills and a knowledge. So please, if you are not gaining any experience or money for the problems you are solving, kindly flee from it. You are too young to die. Thank you.
About 4 years ago, I remember very well. I sat in a mechanic shop with a very good friend of mine. By then, I was home, like no job. Nothing was really going on. And he seemed to be a bit ahead because he had also started something. He was working for a company here. So that discussion came up, and then he asked me, Reginald, what's your plan? I told him, no, I don't have any plan. So are you going to live like this? I told him, well, I'll get something doing. So then he made mention that, have you ever thought of solving any problem to make money? Just like you said. I sat down and I was like, I could think of something. So he said, think hard. For instance, think about the security problems we are facing in Ghana. this was how the whole thing started. Think about the security problems. Once he mentioned that, I kind of told him that, oh, it's true. If I could do something to help people with their security in any form, maybe that could generate some income for me. I was also surprised that right there and then, he reached out into his car, gave me an amount of money to start a business in that aspect. I was really, really surprised. Now, a couple of months after that, I went back to him, told him, the money you gave me, I've exhausted everything, and things aren't really where they need to be. He again gave me a support, and fast forward till today, that business has become a very big one. I remember I called a couple of guys I knew back then, good friends, we came together, and then we started a business. Now this business has become a very good business. We are all okay. But one issue I've been having to deal with is the personal relationship I have with some of the employees. Now, there have been incidences when I've had issues that any person managing a business will go like, now for you to have this attitude in the business, no way, so you fire, you go home, I look for other people to replace them. But sometimes when I sit down, I say to myself, Reggie, we're given a chance. Someone who didn't even believe that things will go well the way it has gone, now give you a chance. He gave you money, you came back, he again gave you money. But at times too, when I sit down, I think my emotions, that is the chance I'm willing to give those people, the emotions I have towards them is coming in the line of business. Now, based on this small story I shared, I'll ask a simple question. In an aspect like that, do you think I'm letting emotions come in the way of business, or I need to relax for them to give them the kind of chance I was given to grow?
You know, I made reference to something that growing up, my spiritual father, he gave me one advice that Francis, live by principles. You see, we are talking about keys to creating the life we want. You can say principles to creating the life we want. Life is about principles. When principles are missing, things happen anyhow. All you need to do is to have principles. Principles overrides your emotion. Why do we set principles? Principles are like rules that govern a nation or a company. Every company has rules. So principles are there to protect everybody. If there were no rules, I'm sure maybe this young man will feel like, this guy can slap you. He has a nice chin, let me slap you. You come and slap me. If he slaps me, can I beat him? I cannot beat him. No. Then he goes. But he knows that there are laws that govern whatever we do. We need to have principles. When we have principles, let me say, for example, I have a wonderful team that helps me to do everything that I do. When you see Mr. CJ doing something, I'm not alone. I have a wonderful team. But I always make it known to them that when it comes to money and what generates money, I'll put it first. It's a principle, I'm telling them. What it means is that I'm not saying I will choose money over them. I will choose my work that generates money over you. So if you are working and you are taking that job for granted, it's a principle. I have to choose the work over you because it is the work that is doing what? Feeding me. So with this principle, from day one, you know it. That's it. We may be on good terms. We may have nice relationship. But if you joke with the work, I will choose the work over you because that is what is feeding me. It's a principle. It has nothing personal. So with that in mind, with that principle, even if my blood brother comes and is the one messing up, I already have the principle in my mind that always choose your work over any other person. So straight away, if my brother is the one messing up, I have to let him go. Because I know that what I have a principle that what my work is what is feeding me. I don't know how to go and look for another one. So I have to make my work a priority. So when you have a team, you always need to let them know principles to live by. There are people that will not give themselves a fighting chance. If you try saving them, you will sink together.
Yeah.
That's like how I made reference to the mindset, the growth and the fixed mindset. Somebody with a fixed mindset who is not ready to grow, the more you try, you will sink together. So always make yourself a priority. Think about how to save yourself first. I love people. Those who know me, they know much about me. I'm kind to everyone. But I have principles I live by. Without principles, you just going let emotions be leading you. And by the time you realize, you will sink with them. Let me give you a perfect example. Somebody wanted a service. I couldn't render it. So I had to pay, he gave me the money to pay someone to do it, like accommodation. I paid the person to do the job for this person. This person didn't do the job. It was stories upon stories. So every day this guy would call me. Your guy, how far? Your guy, how far? I realized this guy wasn't ready to do this work. He was only giving me excuses. What did I do? I had to put my hand in my own pocket and refund my colleague. And tell him, oh, the guy is kind of busy, so he has refunded the money. So please let somebody else do it for you. But in reality, this person didn't do the work, he didn't refund the money. But I had my integrity to protect. So what did I do? I personally refunded the person. Because if I say, because this person did not pay me, which I won't pay you, it's a dent on my image. So what did I learn from? I learned one principle. Any job I cannot do, if I will recommend, I'll let you deal with the person directly. If you ask me to be a middleman for you, I'll tell you no. Because based on my integrity and my principle, if things go bad, I have to take up responsibility to do what? Make sure I solve it. So if I cannot do it, I'll just tell you straight, I will look for somebody else. So we need principles. When you have a workforce or a team, and you sit down with them and see, these are the principles I'm living by. If you cannot go by it, we may be brothers, we may be. If there are times that people have asked their wife to resign from their company and be home because of principles. So there are people that you cannot save them. And your emotions shouldn't let you think you can save everyone. If not, you both sink together. If you can't save somebody, and the person is not ready to be saved, yours is to move on. Because until they make up their mind that they want to change their life, anything you do, it won't work. Anything you do, it won't work. So always make yourself a priority. And always have principles that will protect you. I know my weakness. I know where I fall short. So I have principles to protect me in those areas. So anytime that comes up, straight away, I follow the principle. I don't follow my emotions. I follow the principle. So all I'm saying is, have principles, and that problem you're having, it will be solved. Once you have principles in place, that problem will vanish. But without principle, emotions will deceive you. Emotions, and we don't live life by emotions. We live life by principles. Those who live life by emotions are those who pay the price with failure. We live life by principles, not emotions. So please, all I can say is, have principles in place, and that problem will be gone.
You spoke about being in an environment where people have to share their processes with you. You know, people who have gone through what you might be going through, or what you might want to go through, and they came out of it, and they came out successfully out of it. You know, so if you are in an environment where
It seems like they are holding this information from you. Like they don't want to really share share how they went through these things. I want to assume this is a Christian gathering. Jesus told his disciples to go to the fish, and in there they will see money. So you're in a scenario where he tells you go to the fish, and that's not what he really did. And you get there, you open the fish, man, there's nothing there. Praise God. Or in a scenario where he tells you, oh, I multiplied my 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes by praying. And there you are praying and nothing is happening. So when you're in such scenario where it's not like it's you thinking these things, it is obvious that you told me to do these things and I've done it and still there is no result. What do you do? And the part B of that will be, I don't know how to coin this now, but so how do you find mentorship? In a scenario where, so you see something that aligns with you, business-wise, maybe relationship, spiritual, or however it is, but you see something that aligns with you, man, life is going to take me through this route, but I've seen someone who has gone through this route. How do you find someone who would genuinely tell you, okay, this is how you go about it? Because I want to believe, most of us youth, the major challenge we have is we are just doing things off head, as off head, just if you walk, you walk, if you don't walk, you walk. Just like you rightly said, there are no principles that we are backed by. There are no forces behind us that tell us, okay, this is how you should go about. I've gone ahead of you, and this is how you should go about it. So, in such situations, how do you get acquainted with people who, for a specific area, might not be all the areas of your life, but maybe business, for a specific area, you are able to mount on their wings and they'll tell you, okay, do this, do this, do this. Praise God.
Know that people will tell you based on their experience. So I made reference to the point that somebody will tell you that I was sleeping and my uncle or somebody called me and gave me an opportunity, and that's what led to me start creating work. That one may not work. It doesn't mean you to go and be sleeping and wait for opportunity. People will tell you what worked for them. And also people will tell you what they want you to know. I would preface the fact that you always need to align with your vision. You understand? Someone will say, I sold buffalo. And through that, this. But I didn't need to go and do, quit your 9-to-5 job and go and start that. He's telling you what worked for him. You will pick up things from it that may work for you. Others too will tell you what worked for them, and you realize that exactly the process they went through, the same thing you also want to go through, and it might work for you along the line. So it's also based on you to make more research and be reading. If you realize that, okay, see, what this person told me, it's not working for me. What worked for person A may not directly work for person B. Person B may apply and create his own path, but may not work the same way. You get my point? So yours is to keep going. If I tell you what worked for me, you may sit down going to look for same, but it may not work for you as well. For instance, I can tell you, I met someone and through that my life changed. So because of that, you meet somebody and you start showing loyalty. There are people who are wicked. You meet them and your life will keep going down the drain. So just because I told you I met someone and through that my life transformed, you go and meet someone, 4 years, your life is not changing. Francis said, somebody help me. It messed up, let me keep going. No. There are things that, well, if it will work, some of them you start seeing the results happening. And also, I made reference to the fact that, see, we normally meet our helpers or people who help us achieve our goals when we are in the process of doing something. They don't help us start, they help us accomplish. So, if you are not starting anything, you have no experience. So if I share my experience with you, So long as you have not made an attempt to start something, it won't work. But if you've made, mentorship helps when you are making attempts and you are failing. You realize that a mentor will let you know that, see, this thing you are doing, though you are trying, the reason why you are failing is that try it this way. Try it this way again. And to find mentor is about looking out for where your weakness is. If you don't know your weakness, a mentor will be of no good to you. Because there are some instances that you know 100% what to do. You don't even need any mentor. All you need is to start. But you go about looking for mentors whilst you are not doing what you are supposed to do. So to find mentors is about looking for what area of your life you feel you are lacking, and that person will help you push forward. So let's say, for instance, I realize that, okay, I'm lacking in certain aspects of maybe business. Now, I want a mentor who has experience in that field and knows exactly how to overcome it. So once I go looking out for a mentor, I'm looking for a specific mentor because I want somebody who can guide me overcome this stage. There are some mentors that you will come by, the stage you've gotten to, they have no knowledge. They cannot help you with it. So whatever advice they give you, it won't work for you. So always have it in mind that an advice from a mentor is an opinion. It's always up to you to know how to apply it to your life. Just because it's like people say this funny thing. I once saw somebody commenting under a politician's post that I've come to realize that old age doesn't mean wisdom. You understand? A mentor does not mean that he's 100% right. I can mentor you. In mentoring you, I will tell you what I think will work for you. I will tell you what I think will work for you. It's up to you to take or not to take. But always, there are key elements in what a mentor will tell you that if you take it and apply, some will work for your life. So it's always about weighing the options. A mentor may tell you, let's say for instance, I wanted to do something some years back, and my mentor told me that don't do it. I was like, I will do it. You understand? He said, okay, but don't do it if you like wait. Later, I didn't do it. But years down the line, I said to myself that, yay, I thank God I listened to this mentor. Because the passion in me was do it. That I got angry at what he was telling me. But years down the line, experience made me realize that what he told me was 100% true. So there are times that our passion or what we want to hear may not be what our mentors will tell us, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work. It does work. So if you realize it's not working for you, yours is to go back or to look for a different approach or a different mentor. Because everyone has their limits. Thank you.
I've learned a lot from what you said with regards to the savings. But savings has a cousin who is very, very consuming. That is borrowing. We all know in Ghana now, it's difficult to do certain things without having to borrow money. So whether you have access to loans or maybe from friends, wherever. Now to me personally, it was something I didn't like before, just because by then the means weren't that good. But when I started seeing money small, it has really become, should I say, an obsession. Because sometimes I'll borrow money. I know, oh, this is little amount I can pay. But now I think it's getting me into a pit hole that I may find it very difficult coming out of. Because as I stand here now, I haven't seen like $1 million before. But if you give me $1 million right now, as loan out, now I want to ask, is there any principle that can help those of us who like borrowing, especially in regards to our limits? Thank you.
Okay. When it comes to borrowing, what I'll say is based on my personal experience. What I realized was, without discipline, what we don't work for, we abuse it. We abuse things we got on a silver platter, but we don't work for it. So, borrowing has its advantage and disadvantage based on what you are going to use it for. There are things that you may need to borrow money for, and there are things you don't borrow money for. Somebody will borrow money to go and spend on vacation or to go and spend on having fun. Such a habit will only put you in a ditch. I always prefer to borrow for a project that I know will bring profit. So in that issues like that, I know this money is for a project. I'm not going to spend it or to solve a pressing family problem. I'm borrowing for a project that I know that project will pay back itself. And always I don't borrow money I cannot pay on my own should things go bad. So if let's say there's a project and I realize that, okay, even if I borrow money to do it and things go bad, I can talk to the owner. Maybe in 6 months, 5 months, I can pay back on my own. Even if the project goes bad. So always, what you are borrowing the money for should always be your priority. Is it possible to avoid borrowing now and hold on? Maybe if I hold on, maybe in a few months, I can save and get that money. For instance, one thing that if somebody asks me, should I borrow for? My personal opinion, I will say yes, go ahead. It's maybe a car. If you feel you can afford it, it may be a year's time. Waiting for 1 year, and you feel like somebody can borrow you or somebody can help you with it, and you pay in bits, go for it. But if you are borrowing to maybe solve a family need, borrowing to not to do anything valuable, it will always put you in a ditch because paying back always becomes painful. Money you didn't spend on anything tangible. Paying back is always painful. So one, don't borrow for someone. Always, if you are going to borrow, always, what's the motive behind it? And two, can this thing be delayed? Maybe what you are going to borrow money for, if you discipline yourself and save, within 8 months, you can have it. And one principle I also learned from, maybe I studied rich people, I picked up from, this is my mindset I picked up from, was that rich people don't like to touch their own money. They like to use other people's money. Why they do that, I don't know. But my own understanding I had was that if they use their own money, and in case the business goes bad, they become vulnerable. But if they borrow money and use for it and the business goes bad, they are still in a position to pay back in comfort over time. So if let's say a rich person has $10 million and wants to do a project, he won't empty his $10 million and put it in a project because if it goes bad, he becomes credit risk. Nobody wants to assist him. But he still has $10 million in the account and he goes to a bank to borrow him $5 million for a project. The bank knows that this person can easily pay back the money. So they'll give him the money for it. That's why I use the word that based on that, I don't borrow money I cannot pay back. If I don't have it, I won't go for it. Don't borrow with future. Oh, I'll pay. Oh, I'll get next month, September, it will be a good month. I'm sure I'll get more clients. Then I can pay back this money easily. No. I'm telling you what I do. Any money I borrow for a project, I know I have it. Maybe it's not available at the moment. It's another business. I know it's a month's time, I'll get it back. So maybe I'm borrowing this moment to solve a problem, to solve another business. So always it's based on what you are borrowing the money for. But there are times you may have some brilliant business ideas that will fetch you money, and you will need to borrow money for it. So if the money is not for business, let's say you've gotten a contract to supply a company product, you don't have the money, you can't turn down the project. So one other thing too I encourage people is that instead of borrowing, partnership. Okay, I have a project I'm doing. I need A amount. The profit on it is B amount. Why don't you help me do it? So that we split the profit. You understand? But many people also like to borrow for fun. So it depends on what you are borrowing for. So I won't condemn borrowing in total. But all I will say is if you are borrowing money and it's not for a project, then don't do it. And two, even if it's for a project, don't borrow money you cannot comfortably pay back yourself. There are times we have some excitement or energy builder, we call it, if you try to advise people, they'll tell you you're always negative. At times, wisdom should tell you some things are there, you don't go for it. You have to wait. As you said, you've not seen $1 million before. And maybe somebody is about to borrow you $1 million. You go for it. The question is, can you pay back this $1 million over time should the business go bad? If I cannot pay back over time should it go bad, I'll not go for it. That business can go. Always live by principles. And your peace of mind should always be important to you. But there are people that always think of profit. Hey, I can't let go of this profit. So even if the money is coming, whether he can pay back or not, no, let me do it. Like how some people lost their money in men's gold and stuff. Some borrowed money from banks to put there. Other things. So it's always about what you're using the money for. So yeah, so borrowing should always have a purpose. For me, if it's not for business that will bring you profit, please don't do it. Somebody will come, oh, my charge is this. Can you borrow and help me do this? No, don't do it. Always know why you're borrowing and what the money is for.
You also talked about embracing failures. And one thing I would want to ask is this, let me also pick the point where you said mentorship, like you need a mentor. In a scenario where you have this passion for this thing, and then you have a mentor, and your mentor has given you keys at which you should go and has given you this talk of how he failed, and everything, and then you tried it the first time, the first approach, you failed. Tried the second time because you should always embrace failure. You failed woefully for the second time, like even more than how you failed for the first time. Then tried again, and just like that, you were not really getting that thing you wanted, but you have the passion for this thing. Do you advise change of mentorship, or like changing that approach, or you think you should go with that key the mentor has given to you, like still hoping and believing that, oh, one day things will get better, you would actually succeed? Would you advise the person to change mentorship or just go with it?
There are some things that it takes time for it to happen. There are some things you made earlier when we were talking about the seasons and time that you need to give some things time. There are some things that you fail at it for a long period of time. It's not, you can even change 30 mentors and you still end up failing because there are some things that takes time before it works. And it's by no fault of yours. It's just that's how it is. Some things work instantly when you get the right mentor. Some too, it takes time. And you get to a stage that you become stagnant. But there are others also that you can always try. Talking to different mentors doesn't change anything. It's about picking up the advice of what each one of them is saying and how to apply it to your life. So maybe let's say, for instance, I told you I'm a mentor. I told you how this thing worked out for me. That doesn't necessarily mean that if you apply the same way to your life, it will work out for you. I only told you to be a guidance. So for instance, I made reference to the fact that maybe somebody helped me get to where I am now. So because of that, you met somebody now, you went with the flow. Some people are looking. You can never achieve your goal without them. There are others too that they use shortcuts to get to their destination. They cannot share that shortcut with you. So they will tell you what they think will work. Which, in reality, it might work, but it will take time. But as for them, they had shortcuts. But he cannot come and stand here and tell you all the shortcuts. So I have a friend here who always says that every rich person, there's a little meaning in the money. You understand? He always says that every rich person always has some story that he cannot share. So he will tell you what works for you and how you went about it. But in reality, there was shortcuts. And truth be told, when you are pursuing your dreams and you take action and you follow the process, this is where the miracle comes in. There's always a shortcut. But that shortcut happens when you are in the process. So those who meet it, they will tell you, I will come and tell you my shortcut. Some are not pleasant to be told. So that it doesn't mean that the process he has given you, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It works, but in the process, some shortcuts do happen. But those ones he will tell you. So in the process, you have to discover it for yourself. So yeah, some advice do work, some don't. But however, no, some work, but it takes time. So until the person tells you the whole story. Recently in social media, people were getting angry, insulting certain kind of people that they started their business with 300 cities. The person said it's 300 cities started their business with. And they've been doing this, they're telling you. She's telling you what she's doing in the process. It's like business in Ghana. There are some shops people own. And it's generating money. But that is not what made them rich. It's just a cover-up. And they can never tell you certain secrets unless they have that personal relationship with you. They will tell you what they think you should know, but not into details. So you know that some keys or principles you be following, you go around and realize, hey, this thing is not working. You go back and they tell you it's not working. You keep trying. It will. Until you come and discover on your own that, oh, Charlie, there are some shortcuts in it. And truly to some, when they realize that you are going through the process and you have the zeal to succeed, they will show you or they will tell you that, Charlie, this thing, when I got to this stage, this is what I had to do. So, Charlie, I don't know, it's up to you. So there's always mentors guide us. Like I told you, what worked for them may not automatically work for you. It may take time.
on the backdrop of everything that we've learned, being a Christian, there's one belief that I have that you can have everything available, but without the help of God. It's basically the wind. It's air. And so there's a song that we all know. Very good song. So because he lives, we will face tomorrow. And because he lives, we don't have any fear. All fear is gone. No. And now I know, yes, I know, he holds my future. And life is worth the living just because he lives. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives. Oh, fear is gone, oh, so gone. And now I know, yes, I know, he holds my future. And life is worth living just because he lives. One more time. Because he lives. Because he lives. I will face tomorrow. Because he lives. I will fear no. All fear is gone, so far away. And now I know, yes, I am sure he holds my future. And life will be worth the living just because he lives. God bless you. And so I'd like to call up here Mr. Michael Yande. So with a rousing round of applause, join your hearts ready to receive.
Hallelujah. Amen. All right. Good afternoon. And thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'll try my best to make sure that this session is very practical. Very practical. And when I was coming, I just wanted to come and share experiential knowledge, you can't give what you don't have. That is what Peter told the broken man at the gate when they were entering the temple. He said, what I have is what I give. So I just came here to come and share some spiritual knowledge so that we can learn from each other, actually. And then when I heard my brother talking and then doing a presentation, quite a deep presentation there, I ended up writing some notes and I said that, okay, let me go by the structure and then share whatever I'm supposed to share. Forgive me. I've lost my voice because yesterday was all night. I went back all night yesterday. Shouting here and there. And so maybe we feeling that each is one or two. Okay. And then I've not slept as well, so I'm a bit down. I'm a bit weak, so forgive me for that. But I'm going to share three major things. But let me introduce myself. My name is Michael. My mentor says something all the time. He says that if you want people to listen to you, tell them who you are. And they will know what you're about to share. So let me just do a very small introduction about myself. My name is Michael, and basically I own business actually, and I'm a marketing guy. I own a digital marketing agency. I own a fashion school currently run as the second or third best fashion school in the country at the moment. The only fashion school in Ghana that's when we complete the final year students are taken to South Africa to go and do their internships and all that. It's quite unique. We have the only fashion school that we have all the kind of affiliations you can think about, including embassies and then top-notch African designers. Anado's daughter, when she did the wedding, the gown she used, our students helped with that. So that is for the fashion school. And then the marketing agency, we actually help in branding and then also digital marketing and all that. We work with some companies, including Tata Motors, we work with other companies, including Yango. Yeah. When Yango came to Ghana, before it was even launched, we were the first contact they had. Our first meeting was at KFC Adenta. We sat with them to discuss their strategy to enter into the system. If you remember very well, when they came, almost say 5 cities, and pay 5 cities for a ride and all that. We had all those discussions at their first meeting. So when it comes to marketing, probably I may have not too much, but I can share something. That's what I can say. And currently we are working on a project with Data Lake University. So that is in a nutshell. So that is in a nutshell what I do. Today I've been tasked to talk about branding and talk about marketing, how we can use marketing to earn something for ourselves, and then talk about how to harness the power of social media for ourselves. So with the introduction I'm giving, at least I fit in small. So, alright, so I fit in small, and I know that we are going to learn from each other actually. And answering me powerful. So let's do it that way. Now to box on, let me put this across. There is no business that does not have a spiritual background. Put that in your mind. That should be the first thing that should be in your mind everywhere you pass. There is no business that does not have a spiritual background. As a matter of fact, the very moment we opened our first office, a week or two time, and someone has going to put a freshly appointed baby in the center of the office. There's one thing my mentor tells me every time. My mentor is a pastor as well as a businessman. He tells me that the business you're doing, and you're now here, you have a competitor who is seeking to find you fall. And they will do anything to make sure you fall. As a businessman, if you don't have this principle, principle number 1 in your head, you failed. Business happens spiritually before it comes physical. If you don't have this in your mind, you fail. That is it. If you don't have a spiritual principle that guides you when it comes to business, and you are seated here, I guarantee you can't drop 10 years. 10 years, come on, 5 years. We had a program with Prophet Pastor Brian Martin yesterday, and then he said something. He said that he gave examples of companies. And then he was giving examples like Coca-Cola, give example like Coca-Cola, give example like Pepsi, give example like Colgate, give example like, he mentioned a couple of companies. And when he mentioned them, Interestingly, some of them are as young as 200 years old, 300 years old. And the statement he made was this: the reason why Ghanaian businesses are dying lately is because we don't have divine establishment. We don't have establishment. No, we don't. We don't have divine establishment. I was sharing with someone some time back, and I was telling the person that Cristiano Ronaldo, I mean, most of you might know, but I don't want to go into his religion, but if you know, you know. His kind of religion, the thing he has committed himself to. The fact is, you don't know what someone is doing at the back of his career. You don't know what someone is doing at the back of his business. You don't just stand up. See, I took an amount of capital to start a business, over 100,000, and the money went down the drain for no reason. I visited the court for 1 whole year, back and forth, back and forth. Nobody knew this. It was one thing that, oh, what's up with your wife? Hey, what's up with your wife? Only she discovered that I was going in, and at that time, I was contemplating suicide. And the truth is, that money I went to use to start a business made it through. This kind of good for I put the money on the floor and I anointed the money in the name of Jesus. Then I secured it with anointing oil. I say, in the name of Jesus, I will not fail. I will not fail. I sat on it. I prayed. It still went that way. You need principles to back, as a big man said, you need principles to back your business. But I'm taking you to the other side. You need spiritual principles to back your business. The first step, when I went down, I'll come back to marketing. I just want to share this with you as business people. I know most of us have businesses and we are doing. The first step I did to bounce back, my mentor told me this thing number one. He said, Michael, run to your mother, take a seed, put it at her feet, let her pray for you. I went there, I put the seed at her feet. For the first time, I saw my mother praying and crying with her 2 hands on my head. Second step, take a seat, go to your father. I went there, I put a seat, my dad just breathed. He has never done that before. The link to this was the blessing that Jacob gave to his children. Is it Jacob? Isaac gave to his children. Jacob and Esau. That was the secret that my mentor taught me. After that, he told me, take a seat and go and see a businessman who is also a pastor who is established. Let him pray for you. Spiritual principles. I went there and he prayed for me. The very moment I did those seats, after 1 year of non-performance, the next year I entered into my first partnership I got changed my life. The first partnership I got changed my life. And the person is not a Christian. The person is not a Christian. So God can take anybody and bring the person into your situation just to change your life. He doesn't care if the person believes in him or not. When that happened, my mentor told me another thing. He said, after doing those sacrifices, he called these sacrifices. Those days when people wanted to see the glory of God, what they did was that they would sacrifice bulls and sheep. The question is, do you think that all of a sudden God just decided that let me go appear to Solomon and just, Solomon, what do you need? Go and check your Bible. Solomon made over 1,000 offerings that day. Burnt rams, burnt sheep, burnt cows. Over 1,000 of them. The Bible said that and the whole atmosphere changed. In the evening, then God appeared to Solomon. He said, what do you want me to do for you? So those sacrifices were the first thing I needed to do. I don't know, maybe your business is struggling. Your business, we are all in that stage. Your business is struggling. You are pulling, it's not pulling. These are principles I was taught. The last principle was that he said, build an altar. Every businessman has an altar he comes to. Every businessman. Me, I'm a Christian. I don't know about you. Maybe you're also a Christian. I know you're a Christian. Some of you are Christian. Some of you, why man say you're not Christians? That's true. But I'm a Christian. I can't go to Nubopo or what you call it. I can't go there and go and sacrifice a sheep. See, I have a friend who's an Illuminati. He was sharing a story with me. He said, Michael, the truth is that sometimes I go into shrines and then the wall itself will be talking to him and the fetish priest will run away. People are doing things for business. Your spiritual background as a business person is something you should joke with. Shouldn't. Unless you want to die early. It is two things. Either you want to die early or you want to fail early. Your spiritual background as a business person, you shouldn't joke with it. And the altar is basically something you should commit something from some of the money from your business that should go to God. Okay, I wanted to share what we are doing, but I won't say it. I can give you an example. That one is my pastor's own. I can say his own. I can say his own. I can't say my own because I want to keep it to myself. Yeah, if he shares his own, so when I share it, yeah, I'll share it. Yeah. He's senior pastor. He's a pastor. He's senior pastor of his own church, but he's senior pastor in his senior pastor's church. He's the one that buys the communion every month. That is his commitment. And there are many. The church, they are many. So if he's buying communion, he's buying. That is his commitment. He said, God, this is my commitment to you. This is my altar. He found something that he can sacrifice every month to go to God. So that when he's not getting money, he said, God, that is my altar. He cries on that altar. Aside that, he has other things he does. Until you commit something, until you begin to build an altar for your business, the truth is that you will not rise like you want to. Facebook will not tell you what they've done. Instagram will not tell you what they've done. All those guys will not tell you. But the truth is that that's the basic truth. You can't rise without being spiritually inclined as a businessman. You can't. So you stand up and tell me, hey, what about Kennedy Japan's on your password? Hey, do you know what he's doing? No, do you really think that they'll come and sit on TV and tell you the things they do in order to survive? See, nobody rises in life by mistake. No, it won't happen. It won't happen. Or you've not gotten to that point where you realize that you are rising and all is standing against you. You can't tell me you've not experienced it before. Because it is nature. As soon as you begin to rise, everything will begin to turn against you. Everything. From left, right, center will be hitting you back to back, until you have something that is holding you down. You can't. You can't. I just feel like sharing this with you because it would be wrong for you not to have this in mind as you step out as a business person. It would be wrong. It shouldn't happen. There is no day you should step out for a business meeting anywhere. It shouldn't happen. There is no day that you decide to step out for a business meeting and just say a single prayer. There is no day Muslim will come out without praying. You think Muslims' prayers don't work? Nah, fetish prayers cannot give you Juma. See, everyone's prayer works, so it depends on your source. Everyone's prayer works. It depends on your source. Who is your source? That's the question. Haven't you seen a fetish priest killing a Christian before? Haven't you seen that before? How strong is your altar? I told one of my mentees, and I told her that, look, your business is dying, you are coming to tell me. What have you done about it? You are stepping out there, and the business you are trying to do, they are big guys who are into the same business and they are competing with you. And you send proposal to the same company, and you expect that your business will not die. They call it elimination by rough cutters. I'm explaining why you sent your proposal to a company and they're not calling you. It's not just physical, it's something spiritual. What is your altar? Every month people are sacrificing bulls. They are sacrificing bulls. They are sacrificing babies to sustain their business. Were you not here in Ghana when a news came that a woman in East Legon, Anamante, a Ote Wong, okay, and a Minka, one thing. A woman in East Legon with a big restaurant. The big restaurant. She is dying and she wants to hand over to the daughter. The daughter says she can't. Why? Because they use human parts. Was it her? And the daughter has written a long essay to, I don't know whether it is Abina something so that I don't know. I'm not coming. There's a lady like that on Facebook. And the girl is looking for help. She says she can't. It is not by mistake for you to sell Kosi, other person to sell Kosi. You, every day you are getting 20 series. That person is building storybook. Your business, you better take the spirituality of your business seriously. You better take it. I remember the day I went to the church altar and I prayed to her. I said, God, I have 5 board members. You are the seed. And you have these shares. And I signed as a contract. And I put it up. I said, it is for you. So if the company makes even 200,000, this shares is for you. Whatever you want to use it for, I don't care. Another contract was coming recently. I went to the church again. I wrote on the contract. I went to put on the order. I said, God, this one that is coming, 10% explain. Until you understand this kind of order, you can never beat your competition. No matter how skilled. Oh, are you skilled than some people I know? Hey, see, there are people who are extremely skilled. Extremely, but they're not rising. Nobody rises in life by mistake. We all cry, you want to be a billionaire, I want to be a billionaire, I want to be a billionaire. Yes, it's a good prayer. What are you doing? What principles do you understand? What spiritual principles will take you to that realm? What spiritual principle? The very day I was getting financial freedom. Hey, did I say financial freedom? The wow, we have financial freedom. And I make a financial breakthrough. Financial breakthrough. Yeah, financial freedom, there's a high level. I'm not getting there yet. In Jesus' name, I'll get there. We will all get there. We will all get there. I believe it strongly. See, the very day I was getting that financial breakthrough, the kind of dream I had. That was where I came to realize that even to get wealthy is a realm. It's a realm. It's a realm. I had a dream. And in the dream, I realized that I was walking and entered into a dark place. And the whole ground started shaking. And someone shouted, another person has entered. As soon as that voice came, then a scripture dropped in me and said, I shall give you the riches of the dark places. In the dream. It's a realm. Until you understand these principles, you will do business. Obey business. I do business. You will go far. Oyedepo said something. He said for him, even if he sells a car, even if he sells a car, he will build mansions. It's a realm. As you are going today, I just want you to put that in your head. As you are going back there, make sure that you are sacrificing for your business. You are establishing altars for your business. If you don't do this, me, I'm telling you, see, I'm telling you on a fact. On a fact. Say yes, you get your $1 million, you get on it do 5 years, do 10 years. You will vanish because of the competition you are in. If there was no competition at Kadama, I don't care, you will go. But so long as you're not the only person doing that business and someone is facing the manner, the person will crush you. Put that in your head. They will crush you. Okay, I'm done with that one. Thank you. Alright. Oh, I hope you are learning. I hope we are all learning. Absolutely. My principles, my business principles, basically most of them are taken from the Bible. I don't do anything without the Bible. To make sure that before I step out there, I make sure it is written in the Bible and I can follow it and I'll chase it. So the first thing I'll tell you is this. There is one trend I've seen among us as business people. There's one trend I've seen. The reality is that we claim we think big. We claim, we claim we think big. But the reality is, how big? When Jesus was telling the disciples, he said something. He said that, go ye therefore and make disciples of what? All nations. But when we are doing for our business, we say, I want to be the biggest in Africa. I want to be the biggest in Europe. I want to be the biggest. Why not? Why can't we say I want to be the biggest in the world? He said, go ye therefore into all the nations. When I'm dreaming for my business and I'm using Bible principles, it's different. Go ye therefore. And the reason why I'm connecting it to Bible is because if you have money, evangelism is simple. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If I have money, evangelism is, forgive me if I'm being too scriptural, but that's me. That's how I do my business. Without it, I'm coming here saying. So if I'm sharing with you, like, you should know that that's worked for me. That's why I'm saying it. That's my belief. I believe that without money, I can't go out there and do a lot of things. And so go ye therefore. It is every country. So my dream is that by the time I die, I shall have at least one office in every country in the world. Amen. That is my dream because I'm living by Bible principles. And if I have those businesses in the countries and I want to do anything evangelism, corporate opportunity, corporate defense, corporate evangelism. Simple. So I guess all I'm saying is that change your mindset about your business. Restructure it. You have to restructure it. Yes, it is good to have this level that, okay, it's good to have levels. Okay, I want to get to this level, I want to get to this level. It's good to have structures. But make sure that in as much as you have structures, it should be infinite structures. Infinite structures. That is what it's supposed to be. That's what's supposed to be. That's my belief. If I don't believe it. But until you have such mentality, you be myopic. You won't think big. We won't. And so that is why Proverbs 23 and 7 says that as a man thinketh, so is he. Your mindset is what you manifest. That is who you are. I believe it. That is why if you are that kind of person that you are not a risk taker, you are not daring to do things to make sure things happen for yourself. You won't see anything happening for you. You won't see it. First of all, it must actually play over and over in your mind. The thing you want to do must play over and over and over and over and over in your mind. I'll be sharing some personal experiences with you, and then marketing tips, some things out. And those things I'm coming to share, it's not like theory. Like we are on the ground, we are doing it. You have to do it. You have to. And so you have to picture it in your mind. Picture whatever you are thinking about. Picture it and make sure that you do As simple as ABC. Make sure you do it. Alright. So let me just go straight into the main activity. Let's talk about branding. Alright. Now, I want 2 people to tell me what they think branding is. Just 2 people. Let's be interactive. 2 people, just tell me what branding is. Let's be interactive. 2, just two.
My own opinion, I feel branding has to do with a storyline, how you're able to put your storyline together for the public to be able to buy into what you sell. So it might come in form of pictorial representation, it might come in form of just a one-line mantra, it might come in form of however form it comes, but the whole idea is when people hear the story you're selling, you buy into what you are selling. Praise God.
Any other person to share something? I think that's a powerful submission. Any other person to share something for us too?
I think branding is making something your own, owning something yourself, and trying to make it your own, so that people may also follow your steps one day. People can buy into your idea, how you went about it, how you did it. That's the little idea I have about branding.
Wow. That's powerful. Alright, let's have a conversation. Alright. I'm not going to be theoretical, no, let's have this conversation. Practical, what it is, and let's go on. Now, branding. Number 1, branding starts with you. You as a person, it starts with you. The way, you should be so particular about your looks. Every week, I need to look this way. My hairstyle, I'm having this because this one, I always ship it though. I make sure that if you see this here, it means an error. I'm very particular about the way I look. Branding starts with you. Number 1, it starts with you. How you're supposed to look, you personally. This is the least I'll ever dress your program. Do you know why? Because I was tired. I couldn't iron. But all night. And I wanted to use the all night attire and come here. But it was quite white, so you can imagine. You can imagine. I can't represent in that. Because there are things you see some stains inside. No, I don't want it. So when I went to my guest, I had to take, this is the least I will ever dress to any meeting. Branding. Your personal look. I'm a chorister. So when I'm even in the choir, when we are going for rehearsal, we are sitting there, people will be like, hey, Wabao. No going, no, I said, no going. That's me. I take it serious. Everywhere I'm going, I must make sure that I have that particular look. Branding. As a matter of fact, you can win a contract by the way you personally look.
Sure.
See, I may have the worst logo in the world. I may have the worst color scheme in the world. But the way I've dressed, even the spray I've used, and the way I've entered into the office, and the way I even walked into the office, and the bag I'm holding, I have some golden suitcase. When I enter, when I sit down, and I put it, the reason why I bought iPhone 12 is not because I need it to.
All right.
Branding.
My God.
Branding starts with you.
Yeah.
Branding starts with you. So you must make sure that you personally as a person, you have your brand put together, organized. The way you appear, even in front of people. Your company is a reflection of you. That's the reality. Your company is a reflection of you. And so who you are is what the company is. It's not the other way around.
The company is not what you are not what the company is. The company is what you are. And so if your principles are messed up, your company is messed up. If your dressing is messed up, your office is messed up. If you are coming out of your room and you can't lay your bed, how much more can you even arrange a chair in your office? Branding starts with you. Now, so when it comes to your company, all I want to leave with you is this. Yes, your color scheme is very necessary. Your logo is very necessary. But your way of doing business is more branding than your colors. If you're supposed to deliver at a deadline of 15th, make sure you deliver on 10th. Branding. That would be a brand. So they say, oh, that company that they deliver before time. That's your brand. Number 2, if you as a person, your business, anytime you are given a work to do, you make sure that you put in effort to get a lot of research done. Because trust me, you and I, we do it. If we are giving someone a work to do, we have plan B. Those we have plan B. So anytime you are giving a work, make sure that it's do and die affair. That's what one thing my mentor taught me. He said, Michael, do it like it's your last time. Right. Do it like it's your last time. The quality of work you are putting in that thing should be so extraordinary to the extent that when they see it, they should shout, wow! That's what my mentor taught me. So when I'm doing a work for you, I must make sure that after I finish, if it is graphics, if it is video, if it is anything, I must make sure that after you touch it, the first thing that comes out of your mouth is wow. So if you cannot deliver a wow service, then you are behind branding. If you cannot deliver a wow product, then you are behind branding. A wow service and a wow product is what will ensure that you are ahead of your competition every time. Branding. The last thing I'll talk about on branding is, see, how you make people see you is how they'll deal with you.
Yeah.
Are you listening?
Sure.
When I come to you, do you see there are clients in Ghana, I charge them in pounds. Yeah. I'm doing a project with Peterlink now. I'm charging in pounds. How you present yourself is how you buy it. Yeah. And as a client, when people bring out like 1,500 is not okay, right? Like, I always say, this is the secret. You must have a supernatural power to identify high-ticket clients.
All right.
Your high-ticket clients are those who make you rich. If you want to make money, then find a way to identify high-ticket clients. There are people who pay 10,000 instead of 1,000. There are people like that. I have a fashion designer. He used to Opama Tadema was 500 cedis, but he has one particular client. Anytime he shows for the client, it's 5,000. High-ticket clients. Make sure you find a way to find them. I don't have time to talk about how to find them. So go and look for it. I don't have time to teach you all these things. High-ticket clients. That is my obsession. Anytime my workers, I mean, I tell them, see, go there and get me the person that can give it back. Or the two are fine. They're hating your baby. Yes. High-ticket clients. That's why I said that you are bought the way you present yourself. That is why I will not walk into a meeting wearing slippers. I will not walk into a meeting wearing any kind of shoe. I will not walk into a meeting. Now I've stopped wearing suits. So now it's only kaftans I wear. And I make sure I wear a powerful kaftan. That when I enter, the man will say, wow, you look good. It must be so good. Your design must be so good. Your dressing must be so good that when you enter, they'll be like, okay, wow. That's the first thing that should come out. So everything about you should be wow. Everything about you, wow. The only thing I don't have is a car. For one reason. Bedroom. The reason why I don't have a car is because I've told myself that if I'll get a car, then I must be ready to pay a driver. The reason is that one thing I was also taught, anytime I'm going for a meeting, I must be comfortable at the back seat. I must not stress myself. Overtaking me. When you get there, your whole brain is stressed. So I will take Uber, sit at the back, my DJ them. I'll open my laptop, relaxed, and I'm reading. By the time I get there, I'm prepared. If I don't have money to pay the Uber, you go. I'll order another one. You come. Your branding must be thick. At the point where we didn't have enough money to even take Uber, when we started Business Friend, you know what we're doing? Let me show you. Assuming that we used to have a client at Asylum Dam. The company is Priority Express Services. Maybe some of you know it. We used to have a client there. At that time, we didn't have money. So anytime we are going for that meeting, my office at Makati, so you can imagine, Uber from Makati Hill to Asylum Dam. I'll tell my boys, come on, for trotro near cop. But for trotro, you say you are not fine. Everybody get down, you order Uber. Your branding must be different. I tell my boys that if you don't have money to go for a meeting, take a car. Fatotro. When it's about 2 minutes to the place, get out. Order Uber. And then when you get to the office, call them, you are in. They should look in the window and they'll see you in the car. They know you have come. When you get down there, you do this. What are you talking about? After the meeting, order the Uber to the same place. Order it to the same place. Get down, take your trotro and away. Absolutely, my brother. You can't stress yourself. There have been times where I've lost contract because I went there and then when they walked me out of the office, I didn't have car. And then, okay, we'll call you. Okay, we'll call you. So if I'm in a meeting and I see the meeting is almost ending, I start ordering. By the time the meeting will finish, the Uber is there. The reason why I even won the contract at the college, let me share with you. Yes, it was going to succeed, all right. But when we went there, intentionally, the man said he was going to show me a property. So we got there, went to talk, we discussed, hey, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. As I grabbed her, I said, oh, I want to go and show you a property. I didn't bring a car. Smart enough, I told him, yes, okay, let's sit down. I wanted to discuss something. Once we were discussing, I was ordering Uber. And I was just meditating, just talking about nonsense. And we're talking, he was like, oh, okay. And then we're talking. When the Uber came around, I said, oh, sir, we can go and check. When we got there, so we Mercedes, I moved 4x4 living. And luckily, that day, Elantra, I don't know who's using Elantra for Uber these days, or the Elantra. He said, okay, so let's go. So I'll follow you the car. I said, oh, okay, you got the car. Yes, sir. Suddenly, bought car. Because I told the Uber driver, don't cancel the trip. Everywhere this man is going, we are following him. And he was seated in the car like that. I think he was my driver. You must be able to present your brand, especially if there is money involved. Let me share this last one with you. I saw a story where a gentleman lost a contract of $25 million. $25 million. He lost it. Do you know why? Because which car was he driving? I think Range Rover or something. And they said that, how can you use such a car? Say $150,000 car to come and take a contract of $25 million. You're a beggar. Your brand is what will get you the money. And your brand is not just your logo and your colors. It is the totality of who you are. Totality. You are going to take a contract of 100,000. What's the sneakers? Hey, you are going to take a contract of 100,000 and you're only sneakers. And you have shoe for where can you cry? Sneakers. No, don't do that. Don't ever do that. Even if it is 10,000, go there. Let them see you. I used to have a watch. I say that watch, when I enter into a meeting, I'll put my hand on the table. I allow them to see. We need rain. I got a contract with Miracle Logistics Service. You see, I'm mentioning the company's name because I've worked with them. I'm coming here and coming. The only reason why I got a contract with Miracle Logistics Service, that time, that iPhone 12, every number fresh. I bought it over 7,800. When I went there, they were just talking plenty. I said, don't give the contract. The one I call and buy, iPhone call. Me and now one of the assistants was like, wow, is that iPhone 12? I said, yeah, that's iPhone 12. You can have a look. Let me be a man. You can have a look. And she was, oh, wow. Oh wow, oh wow. First thing, I've broken the notion that I'm a beggar. Yeah. Anytime you send a proposal to a company, the first thing they see is that you're a hungry man coming for food.
Yeah, sure.
You must show them that you are not hungry.
All right.
They give contracts to people who are not hungry. I'm telling you this today. And your brand must prove to them that you're not hungry. Even if you are supposed to borrow a friend's car, if he won't allow you to drive, let him drive. You buy the fuel. Go there. Introduce him as your partner. Oh, meet my partner. Also, on your business. Introduce him as your partner. Sit down, discuss business. And once you're discussing, put the car key on the table. I'm not joking, no. Put the car key on the table. If you're holding that for 30, put it there. Use expensive spray. Get 20 Ghana spray. I'm not joking. This thing I'm saying, and take. You see what I'm talking about branding? I've not even spoken about your business. You are the brand representing your business. The only brand your business has is timely. It should be timely. You should deliver on time. You should deliver on time. You should give quality services and quality products. There are two things that will make your business brand stand in front of your customers. Apart from that, every other thing is on you. From that, if you want to win a contract, learn this skill. I'm done. The last thing I'll talk about is I'm supposed to talk about marketing and social media, but then I'll just talk about marketing. Let me just talk about marketing. I won't touch social media since my time is up. Marketing. Now, guys, I wanted to share with you something I call but in business, when my people call me, they meet me, they call me Alpha. Because I want to be the Alpha line. I want to take everything by force. And so my model is called the Alpha Business Model. I wanted to share with you what that marketing is all about. How the marketing is about. How many of you sell products that you need clients? Let me see. You sell products and you need clients. Wave your hand and see. You sell products and you need clients. Or you sell services and you need clients. Or you're about to start a business and you need clients. Or you're about to start business and you need clients. Let me tell you this. The number of clients you have is determined by the number of strangers you've spoken to. Number of clients you have is determined by the number of strangers you've spoken to. In my business, every month, each sales executive is supposed to make 200 calls every month. 1 year crowd 200. And number two, never enter into a company to go and submit a proposal. you'll be seen as a beggar. I've repeated this 2,000 times. This is what we do. I'll teach you for free. This is what we do. In my company, we have a way we generate a list of potential clients. Okay, we are a B2B company, business to business company. So our clients are also businesses that need our services. What we do is that at the end of every month, we generate at least 1,000 companies in Accra. 1,000. Out of that 1,000, about 3 different sales guys will sit down. We give them Obiabeji 300. That the leftover will be crossed over to the next month. 300. Everybody's supposed to make all the 300 calls in the month. This is what you are doing. You are booking at least 32 appointments out of the 300 calls. 300 calls, we are booking only 32 appointments. At least. So you can do 32 or more. Do you know why? Because every day you go for 2 appointments. So if you are going for 2 appointments every weekday, some of the months will be 32, some of the months will be 40, some of the months will be. At least some of them go 3 appointments per day. The reason is this. Whilst other companies are sending their proposals to the company, and the company tell you, we'll get back to you. We have called. Do you know what we do? We make a call. The front desk picks up. All right, can we speak to the manager in charge? We don't speak to the front desk. It's a mistake. All right. My people will never speak if you are working somewhere, if you are in Kokonan for Okada, because Accra they are full. They call. I'm teaching you. This one is just a simple marketing strategy we use. I'm teaching you. They call every 300. And when they make the call, and then the front desk pick up. They say, can we speak to the manager in charge? And then with a deep voice, not Nkoda voice. And they ask you why. You say, okay, there's a possible partnership we want to discuss with him to help your company, to help our company. We just want to talk to him. And they'll connect it. When they connect it, we don't sell. We never sell on phone. It's a taboo in my company. Boss, all right, yes, who is this? Please, is this that we mention them because we have had your name. We mention your name. We are calling to discuss a possible partnership that will help your business and my business. And to do that, we just want an appointment with you. Any day that you're free. Okay. And then we'll come and then we'll discuss. Oh, can we talk on phone? No, sir. This appointment can help you way too much for us to discuss on phone. Okay, on the 11th, okay, let me check my calendar. That's what will happen. On the 11th, I'm available. Okay, sir, what time? 10 a.m. 10 a.m. they put it down. We have appointment. So we have skipped the queue of proposal. We have put proposal down. And then they say, we will get back to you. No, we are getting back to the company. That's right. And when we get there, this is what we do. When we get there, we are finished with the appointment. We will take the number of the manager. We take your number, or anybody we have met, any person we've met, we take your number. We are not going to call you. Yeah, Pharaoh. We'll call you once a while, but we will do bulk messaging marketing in the name of my company, the way MTN has been sending you message. We'll be sending you bulk messaging marketing. We will send you, sir. You can't block us. I'm done.
So if I send you bulk message, don't be angry. It's market. All right, so by God's grace, we've got to the end of the program, and I'd like to call on Pastor Joel to come and introduce us. Yeah? I think we should put our hands together. I think we should be on our feet as well. Respectfully, shall you all be on your feet?
All right, shall we close our eyes? And if it's possible, we want to lift up your voice and thank God for such a time like this in His presence. We know that a day or a minute spent in His presence never in vain. We want to pray that as you depart from here, God will help you. That whatever agenda, whatever idea you have, will come into a reality in the name of the Lord Jesus. Lift up your voice and pray. Ask God to help you. You've heard, but it depends on you and your God. Lift up your voice and pray. Lift up your voice and pray. Lift up your voice and pray. Keep praying, and the next 1 minute, keep praying. Keep praying. Ask God to help you. Ask God to finance your cause in the name of the Lord Jesus. And ask God to also bless the visionary of this ministry in the name of the Lord Jesus. All right, shall we pray? Father, we thank you for such a time like this. It can only by you. And whatever you have started and whatever you have communicated to us through your servants, we know that, Lord, you are up to something in our life. May we never miss your path, and we will never miss you in any other way. Help us, and we shall be helped in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. May your blessings rest upon us all the days of our lives. And may these anointings that we have received in the form of information, Lord God, help us in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. And we know that we will go out there, we will think Christ and we will think success. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray with thanksgiving. And all believers shall say, Amen. Amen. Shall we share the grace? Surely, God bless us all.